Hi, chat. Hey, Kevin. All right, where we left off in the morning was there was a little bit of a bug here where we weren't updating skill buttons after we loaded from a save file. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Freak Technic. Happy Monday afternoon. So we got to figure this out. I said that a load function could potentially help here. We have to load this for everything pretty much. Overlay visibility controller. This exists in the UI. I guess the UI should just know that we've loaded from a save file. Yeah. I mean, why not, right? UI.load from save, load, what do I call this? Load from save data? I don't even think we need any save data yet, but is this what we name all these functions? Yes. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I want this to be there then. And I want this to figure out whatever it's supposed to do. And I don't know what that is yet. Public, put this here. Okay. What do we do? Presumably we just need to update all of the perks. And they happen to be the same thing at the root class, which is a perks tree. So how about we get that for now? Private perks tree, all perks trees. It's a list of perks trees. And I guess this means it could be read only, because these things all exist at first. So we got to put that at the top if we're going to do that. And then in here, we can just save them all off. That works, I guess. It's just, yeah, that works. And then dot dot. Nice. Okay. Now we go through all of these and then we call update on them or something. I'm not actually even sure what. Init calls this, which calls set button ability. What else does it do? It instantiates stuff. Okay, maybe we should just have a load from save file or something. Is there anything that does this that just calls us on everything? Nope. Okay, well, not really a problem. IMHO. Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything here. Anything? Set button ability, is that what's being called? It is. But this is really what's initializing things. Updates a label, sets the abilities component. Oh no, it also has listeners. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well then this is meant to be an initialization thing, only to be called once. Well, update label should be fine to call. I think there's also an update cost label though, right? An update tooltip. Where's this called from? Modify ability level. Nothing does this. Are you kidding me? Update tooltips only here. Yeah. I guess this is done whenever you hover over this. So this probably shouldn't be needed, right? Modify ability level on hover. Yeah. Show an update tooltip. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. So we don't need to do anything there. It's just update label. And then in purchase skill button is going to be something different. I could have sworn I made some sort of like update cost. Where is that? I just changed it here somewhere. I just don't know where. Maybe it's in the perks tree itself. Update skill button cost. Here it is. All right. Where's that stuff called? Well, it's basically not a thing. So maybe we make these are player ability trees or they're perks trees. I don't even where did I add this? Perks trees. They're perks trees. Okay, so then let's just put a load thing in here that does this. Public void load from save data. Update label. It's not even a thing. Why is it not a thing? Update skill button cost. And it needs to be for the ability ID? Why do we do that? What in the world kind of stupid thing is this? This. Oh, because we need to get the button. The button should have an update cost thing because it should be able to know. Oh, it doesn't. All right. Because, okay, never mind. I understand. I don't save the cost data alongside the ability. I save it in the tree. I think that was a mistake. But it was a mistake that would take some time to fix, which is why I didn't do it because I recognized it was a mistake even back then. Oh, well, that's okay. We would need to do this for all the skill buttons that we have then. Yeah. So do that. Button dot update label and update this. That's apparently not how this works. Oh, come on. There. And then the button should have update label on it. Yeah, good. Okay, I think that's all we need to do then. So now in here, we just get all of the for each. It should know what I want to do here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if that fixes things. Hey, try something, Dev. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. What do you work on? Let me load this up. Mute site. Oh, you're still streaming. Learning new things about development, play a variety of games, chat, and more. Love interacting with the chat. But what were they doing today? Videos, resources, and a road. Oh, something in Minecraft? Yeah, welcome in, Katie and Bobby. Yeah, I'm curious what you were doing, but thank you. For anyone new here, which is probably a lot of people, I'm guessing, I am working on a game called Skeleseller, and it's a laid-back, like semi-idle game. I don't like leaning into the whole idle game thing, but the way it works is you send adventurers into battle. So I'll send this rogue into the forest over here, and they battle automatically, and they follow some abilities that they have. So it says execute. So when they have 8% health remaining, it'll just kill them, and they have quick strike, which is causing 3 damage a bunch of times. So they kill the enemy. They get 2 potions. You go sell them in your town. I'll drag this over here and this over here. And customers can come buy these things and you use the proceeds to upgrade your town. So that's the basic gameplay loop here. And what we're working on is adding perks to the garbage slime in the game. The garbage slime is a way of being able to just kind of trash items quickly. And this will be their perks board, but we haven't done that yet because I'm refactoring a whole bunch of stuff. Playing some Minecraft, gotcha. You could say it's a semi-active game. Yeah, the thing is, most people consider games to be active by default, which is why I think saying semi-idle is what I'm kind of leaning toward. But like idle light is kind of a thing I'm also tossing around. Am I making the sprites by myself? No, I'm not doing that. Take a look at the credits there. I'm very bad at drawing things. So I'm doing most of the code and the music, and then not the art and not all of the code. All right, yeah, and where we just left off here is if I load, hopefully I haven't spent 5 minutes playing this. Yeah, cool. So it loaded the 1 out of 4. Does it get the cost correct as well, I wonder? Let's try this. This is 50. If I buy this, it costs 150. So now if I load, it's still 150. If I fully purchase it, it is, yeah, it's unlocked. Nice. Okay, cool. Looks like it's working. Yeah. Hey, Eris. I'm gonna look up the name pronunciation really fast. Just make sure I'm not pronouncing it wrong. I should really just like add that to your name on here. Boop. And where's the second boop? There it is. Airs. There. Now I'll never forget. Well, I got it, but that's because I had to look at this because you told me last time. Yeah, how's it going? And welcome in, everybody. Like I said, we are refactoring some stuff right now. I originally had all of the UI in the game, so all of this stuff that you see, everything I'm clicking right now, all of this was in a certain spot in Godot, and now I'm moving it to another spot in Godot. And that's all so that we can eventually get this perks panel thing working here, which, by the way, it's going to work sort of like this. You'll just see a perks panel pop up for the garbage slime or for the enchanter or something. You just call me Abby. So I do know a lot of people's names, and I know your old name, your old Twitch name used to include your real name. The problem is I want other people to know who I'm talking to as well. So I'm still going to use your Twitch name, but I'll call you Airs. At least I know how to pronounce it. And that way when I say Abby, people don't think I'm talking to you. Also, my cat's name is Abby, and I would summon her every time I say your name. Hey HK, how you doing? Didn't realize you could edit people's names. You can't. I think it's better Twitch TV that lets you do that, but I'm not totally sure. And hey, Sergeant Pepper. Okay, so we got this working, but possibly we didn't get everything working. At least this stuff's done. All right, need to test saving everything, loading, etc. Let's go try that out. There are no perks for that. I guess let's start with this. So we'll start a quest and we'll add in one item. So now it's 1 out of 9. Save and load. Just need to make sure we didn't break anything. All right, yeah, looks good. Cool. So tavern seems like it's working. Where's the fishing thing? There it is. Oops. Okay, so we got the fishing pond. It's at 2 out of 3 fish, and let's turn that on. Save and load. We're at 2 out of 3 fish. That's on. Let's try with the perks as well. Max. Let's set to that. We have 35 fish now. 35 fish. Okay. And the battle and stuff is still working, right? Did I go to the right place? No, I did not. There we go. Yep, cool. We're able to battle our fish. Now what about the farm? Show all signs, farm. All right, looks good. Let's plant some seeds. Turn this on, turn that off. Do that and that and that. And drag one of these here. Build our armor shop so that the poor little skeleton can stop walking around. How did they even have an armor? Did I might have force won the battle that we were in. Anyway, this is looking fine too. Let's try saving it though. It means I really should have done this and then saved. Okay, so this is carrot, carrot. Yeah, they're both carrots. Save and load. Carrots are working. Let's upgrade this. I need more money. All right, save, load. Cool. And then let's get some more seeds planted here. So we got some peppers and grapes. Let's make those fully grow. Again, we're just testing, saving, and loading because I moved so many things that I just want to make sure that the basic stuff is working. And it looks like that's good. What about putting items in our item displays? Yep. Yeah, I'd say everything's pretty much good. I'll try one more time with this. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. All right, not too shabby. Hey, by the way, try something, Dev. Do you make Minecraft plugins or anything? Because I was going to say, if you like Minecraft and you like doing dev stuff, Minecraft plugins can be pretty fun to work on. Yeah. Also, HK, how's your last year been? What have you been up to? Battle panels owned by the UI. So this is something we got to think about at some point. Available buildings menu should be owned by the town menu. Let's go do that. Available buildings menu. So all of this stuff. Why is this saved here? Oh, this is a row, not the whole thing. Town menu. Town menu should own this. It's all inside town menu, sure. Then there's the things inside of here. That's fine. Then the row itself, that's also fine. And then the UI only does this to initialize it. Yeah, so we're going to move this. And I think we're going to move where it is in the scene as well. Not actually totally sure why it shows up in here. I guess because it doesn't need to be in the VBox container. But then that means that the town menu should store a reference to this thing, which it could fetch through the UI, but it could also just fetch by being told where it is. So let's do that second one. All right, let's get to work on this. This is what the entire morning was like, is just doing all of this stuff over and over and over again. Trying to drive me insane over here. Interviewing mainly. Currently waiting for my offer letter, which I've been waiting for 2 weeks. Please don't go wrong. Please, God, don't do this to me. Well, good luck. Interviewing... I think there are probably very few people out there in the world who aren't stressed by some part of the process. Because even if you like interviewing or you're good at interviewing, there's still the waiting around for stuff. There's still the what if it doesn't work out. So I hope it is coming to a close and that everything lands nicely and you're happy with your new job. What time of year is it in terms of... We're almost done with Q1. There's no like major holidays in the US. Yeah. It could be that they're just trying to find the right candidate and they're waiting for all the interviews to go through. Because I was going to say like November, December, if you're interviewing around then, you sort of expect it to be slow. At least again in the US. And then yeah, things start picking up again in January. But it all depends on when their fiscal year ends, whatever company you're applying to. How's the game coming along? Hey, Pillface. It's going really well. We've We've got farming in the game now, which as of 1 week ago didn't even exist. Not even the underpinnings of it. We just didn't have a plot of land here, and now look at it. We have a farm. You can harvest crops. You can upgrade it. It'll clear out more rocks. You can plant more of the crops. Unfortunately, the crops don't do anything yet for you. Every time you harvest them, it's increasing a food value, and the food isn't used yet. So if I click this, I now have +3 food, and it does track that. But eventually we wanted to upgrade your health, and we just don't have the UI for that yet. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Waiting for the offer letter to be approved. Got the verbal already. Oh, nice. Okay, good. All right, so there's slightly less panicking. Yeah. Okay, so we copy this over into the town menu. This is going to be the available buildings menu that we're exporting here. So I think we can do this. No, it's saying the wrong order. An event should not follow a property. An event should not follow a property. Okay. Available buildings. HK, thanks for the resub. And welcome back. Still not sure. Is this your own game or did you get hired for this? This is my own game. Yeah. Am I creating the art? No, that I am not doing. I do have a credits page here which talks about the people who are working on this. So it's Darkstorm, Quickie Joe, Ski, and Kevin. And the person doing the artwork is Quickie Joe. And then below that, I just closed it, but below that, there are the asset packs that I'd used as well. So I didn't make the sound effects for the game. I'm on Twitch TV. I didn't make the sound effects for the game. And I do want to do a music stream in a bit, maybe next week, actually. Let me think about this. I think we can get perks done by the end of Wednesday for sure. I think we get this stuff done. Adventure progression is pretty big. And I wanted to stabilize for a bit. Yeah, maybe next week, maybe the week after. Because I have some ideas for other music tracks I want to make, but I just don't think they fit the tone of the game. So maybe we'll mess around with that for a bit. But it's not really urgent to make new music. It's more of a just, let's take a break from doing coding nonstop. Oh, thanks, Paleface. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with the progress. I think it's coming along pretty well. All right, so town menu has the available buildings menu, which we now need to go set. The only way for this to know that we have to set it is for it to be rebuilt. Do you play any instruments? I play piano, yeah. And I've done some music streams before. Just to set expectations, the way these typically work is I usually do some improv for a bit and then get like stuck on some tune I want to develop a bit more and then try building it out a little bit, but it's it's pretty repetitive. And it's not like it's, professional level to begin with. So as long as your expectations are pretty low, you might enjoy the stream. But if they're even medium, then you probably will not enjoy the stream. All right, so this goes here. Can we not make that be? No, we did make that the right thing. Okay, so now that's set. And that's set through here. And then we just need to go use that everywhere. All right, so this get node, is that needed? Because it's exported already. I don't think it's needed. I think we can just initialize it. That's the fun part. I think for a lot of people, the fun part is just hearing the final thing. But yeah, if you find that fun, then great. Hey, Linux, how you doing? Okay, where else do we do this? Available buildings menu. Nothing else here. And that means that this can cease to exist. And we can search for this elsewhere. Row. I don't care about the row. I only care about this stuff. Why does the UI have a reference to this? Oh yeah, it has to show up in the UI, of course. Well, it could be in the town menu. In fact, I probably should have done that. Yeah, that was stupid. I didn't want to put it in the VBox container, but it's got its own control above it, so I don't think it should affect layout. What is this thing? It's a panel container. Actually, I don't know what happens when you make a child of this in terms of anchoring. What if we show this and then move this here? What happens? Ah, okay, yes, that is totally broken. Okay, so we can't do that. Okay, well, at least we tried that out briefly. Then hide this again. Yeah, I may need extra controls. I guess that's what we could do. We could put a control under here and then put the available buildings menu under there. I mean, at that point, I guess the buildings menu is part of the town menu. So we'd put it just directly into this scene. And that might still be a good idea, but this isn't too bad either. It's fun to me, the process of creating original music and sound for your game. Yeah, and I think it's fun too. I just I don't think it's got sort of mass appeal, I guess. Or maybe it would if I were a total expert at it, but I'm definitely not. And I'm doing well, Alex. It's been a pretty good day so far. You know, you measure, let's say you had a productive day. You don't always measure it in terms of like features or even bug fixes. Sometimes it's game design. You just wrote a bunch of a document. Sometimes it's just organization and you managed a to-do list or something. Today was a lot of refactoring. So at the end of today, maybe we'll have made a little bit more progress, but in general, it will be the code base is better, but there is no discernible difference from the player's perspective. Doesn't mean it wasn't productive, doesn't mean it wasn't good. It's just a little different from what I set out to do originally. But it's worthwhile. Yeah. I'm not just saying that to convince myself. I actually had planned to do this to some extent. I just didn't know how long it would take. Okay, so now this is no longer stored in the UI. It's now stored in the town menu. So we need to do this, which I think is a little unusual. And we could make a proxy thing for this. Where else is this used though? Oh wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my God. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, looks good. Delete all that. Delete that. Good. Yeah, everything looks good there. Can we run this now? Or is something still broken? Buildings. Yeah, nice. So it's looking good. Yeah, and it functions, right? Yep. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so if we save and load this, everything is green except for the bottom four things. Is that still the case when we load? Nothing exists. The reason nothing exists is because we have a cheat that was on. So now we turn the cheat back on and yeah, everything's green except for the bottom four things. If we grant money, they all turn green. Perfect. If we, how do we make something we can't afford? I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, we just have to spend money. Okay, well anyway, then let's spend money. Yeah, stuff turns white again. Okay, that's fine. There used to be a way to make it so that you couldn't upgrade the Enchanter's Den because it cost more money than you could have. But I guess it's not really an equivalence class in terms of testing. Devil dog. It's a good setup. Okay, so have we done everything with the available buildings menu? I think we have. So now the only question would be, do we put this into the town menu scene? And I think it does technically belong there. How is this thing arranged right now? Layout, top left with a bit of a transform. Top left with a bit of a transform. We could do that same thing. I guess it's better to just take a picture of this. Wait a second, what? It's offset from the top of the screen? Why did we do that? That was probably intentional, but it seems a little funky. I think this whole menu is going away though at some point, right? Yeah, it's probably gonna go into the tab stuff that Kevin's working on. I have 15 that I can't afford. Flawless execution. Flawless. But how many can you afford? 14 that I can't afford and one that I can. I don't really care about this. Like, is it such a big deal if you put it into that scene or not? It doesn't really matter, but it's probably technically correct. I don't think I care. I don't think it's worth doing. Yeah, I think that's how we should look at it. Is it worth doing? Not is it technically correct? We shouldn't just spend time on things because they're the right thing to do. Spend time because they're the highest priority thing to do. Okay, so done with that. Then there should be a single event from that scene that lets us know when you modified a player ability. I think we handled that. Test this through the tutorial. Okay, that we definitely didn't do. Debug. Let's try that out. We don't need to spend too long doing this because I can just speed things up. But we do need to make sure that nothing's broken in this tutorial. So let's just go through the normal process here. Battle maps, start. Once we're done with the tutorial and we've placed our first item, we should get the Adventurers tab and the Hire Adventurer tab. So yeah, the skeleton's coming over and 2 buttons appear. Perfect. And now we can save the game and load the game. Yeah. All right. I think that's all working. Hey, Feinberg. Tibia vibes. I haven't played Tibia. A lot of people say this looks kind of like Stardew Valley, but the art just came from an asset pack originally, which happened to look like Stardew Valley. Way back when you were doing Botland, I was wondering what happened since then. Nice to see you back with the new project. Yeah, hang on one sec. Excuse me. Yeah, Botland is going to be open source, and I was not streaming for like 3 years because I was working at Google. Hey, Diamonds. Loving how the game looks so far. Thank you. Yeah, if anyone's interested in the game, by the way, it really, really helps if you wishlist it. We are now up to, wait for it. You're up to 1,394 wish lists. Yeah. So here are the stats on that. And then as far as impressions go, I look at how many people have, oops, that's not right. Where's the thing I want? This. I look at how many people have launched the game, and it's 975 unique people. Let's write that down, 975. This has really been slowing down. I've got the historical data here, although I know it's pretty tiny. As of February, the very beginning of February, it was at about 100. And then we had Idler Fest. And by like mid-February, it shot up by several hundred. And then it kind of slowed down a lot since then. Yeah, so now in roughly the last, what's a month ago here? Wait, when did that festival stop? I don't know. And it doesn't matter. Yeah. Thanks, Overkill. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the general rule of thumb is to have as many wish lists as possible, and people estimate what number that should be, and it's in the many thousands, probably in the tens of thousands, though. So even if every single person here right now hadn't wishlisted the game and then did, it's like, that's great. I appreciate that, but we probably need to go even way beyond that, which is why I'm taking Tuesdays to start doing some more sort of marketing things and try making a lot more YouTube shorts and pull people in through that. All right, tutorial looked good. I'll look through any of those calls in here. Let's do it. We should probably delete that before I forget, and then look for this. We have 15 of these. Yeah. Let's pull them up like so. UI dot capitalize and like that. And then I want to just open up the ones that are in town.cs. There, that's everything, right? Yep. Okay, so what do we have here? This is fine, so delete that one. This is rough, but let's come back to that, I guess. This is necessary. This is not smart. Actually, none of this other stuff is probably pretty smart, right? That one's fine. That's probably also fine. That's maybe fine, but maybe that should be in the UI. Level up banner. What's going on there? Show level up banner. We wait a little bit of time. We make a control. We add it to the UI. We play a sound. This could all be done inside the UI node. Launch counts are largely irrelevant since people often buy games long before they play them, if ever. Yeah, I agree. However, the reason I'm looking into them is because they're usually a pretty good sign of someone having made like a YouTube video or something. So let's say I see it jump up by 100 and I didn't stream, then it probably means that I should be Googling Skeleseller. So it's just another one of those things where it's like, I'll just track it. Are you still working at Google? No, I'm not working at Google anymore. I stopped about a year and a half ago. Yeah. using asset packs for arts is a viable thing to do. I think I'll try to give you some just kind of high level points on my thoughts here. One, asset packs are rarely sufficient. Usually you need some sort of supplemental assets. So go onto the asset store and find anything, even like icon pack with 3,000 icons. What are the odds that you have every single icon you want in that pack? Maybe you have an ability where it's like, well, it's a fireball, but it's supposed to be green in the game or something. Like, okay, you can tint that. But now what happens if you need a frostbolt and they don't have that, or they need like a vine spell or something? I don't know. Anyway, so rarely sufficient. So you might need to fill in somehow. Two is that if an asset pack ever gets super popular, people will judge your game more harshly. Either they'll say it's an asset flip or that you stole the assets, even though you didn't, you licensed them, but it's just, oh, another game used this and that game was more popular than your game. So then they're like, oh, this game's copying the assets. And it's like, that's not exactly how it works. And what else? I think those are the biggest things. Yeah. So is it viable? Like, yeah, I think it's viable. I think the other thing too is if you're a programmer like me who cannot do art, an asset pack is going to be infinitely better than the stupid placeholders that you're going to make. So like I can draw this. That's pretty easy for me to draw. Do you ever want to see that in game? No way. What did I do? What did I work on at Google? What language and ID did I use? I think a lot of that's inside the Google command there. Yeah. And language was largely Go, Java, Kotlin. Yeah, probably those three, Go, Java, and Kotlin. And the IDE was an internal only IDE that you wouldn't have heard of. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to finish looking through these things. Okay, we need to look through all of these. No, not this. So just these ones. All right, I want to write this down. So we have the tooltip, notifier, in-game menu, game settings menu, dialogger. So that's all of these. The debug menu, level up banner, and what's that last thing? Grant most things. What's that for? What is this? Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything about that. So just these things. Let's look at those. Let's start with the tooltip. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I meant to close that. Okay, I'll try that again. Tooltip. So we do need this to be stored here. We get this from the UI and then we don't do anything else. Seems a bit funky. And like practically everything is using this. So I don't want to modify that. And I do want to cache this, but I think it makes more sense to cache it in the UI so that this is just a getter that does this. And there is no setter. Yeah. Now that doesn't exist. So now we need to go get that, I guess. Where does that go? Here. No, wait, what am I doing? That's not even the UIC. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, so get and private set. This is what we did have. But now it makes sense in this scene. All right, now we want to get that from here. Good. And we call this town tooltip. I think this should just be tooltip. And there we go. All right, nice. Okay, so that was the tooltip. I think we're done with that. Notifier's up next. What do we use the notifier for? Create. Anything else? Yeah, all these need to be somewhere. What is this keyboard? This is a corn keyboard. Yeah, thanks, Devil Dog. I've got a video there, but the super brief overview is that it's only got 36 keys. So at any given time, your fingers are at most one key away from where they need to be. Unlike on a regular keyboard where you might like physically move your entire wrist. Whereas here you're, well, I mean, I guess you're still moving your wrist, but it's just like small rotations and stuff. So typing looks like this. And you got numbers and you got symbols and stuff and arrow keys and whatever else you might need to. But yeah, I love it. It's great. All right, what else do we need here for the notifier? Turns out we're really only using it for a couple of functions, and I think it's these two. And these two are probably used from a lot of different places. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Actually, surprisingly, only 3 for that. And what about this one? Just 1. I don't really think there's something I need to do to change that, though. It's just weird that this is owning something from another component, but I think it's okay for now. It's not super high priority to change that. All right, in-game menu. Let's look at that next. In-game menu. What are we doing here? So settings, game settings menu. This should all be in the UI stuff, probably. Why is this called public close? Oh, because there needs to be one called close already. Sure. Where is this overridden from? Control with overlay background? Okay. We probably should have just made that public to begin with and made it virtual. My favorite feature is the base. Super cool custom furniture. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the case. Case was made by Devil Dog right there. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Also, he made it without having the keyboard. He just had the schematic files, and it fits pretty well. So yeah, props to him. Anything else we do with this? Set save disabled to be false. Set save disabled to be... Oh, we don't need to do this here anymore. We could have this be listening from elsewhere. What is this stuff, though? Don't allow saving at the very beginning of this. That's fine. That's something we can do from there. If it's not visible, then make it visible. In-game menu is the escape screen. Yeah. Set save disabled. That's when loading has done first battle. We just pass in the data. I think that's fine, though. Then have all this stuff happen over there. Yeah. Okay, I think before we do this, we should probably check in. I've made quite a bunch of changes. This is going very well so far, though. Down UI menu, yeah. Man. We're gonna need to fully test this stuff. This is update the labels on buttons. Now, why do we do this? Because we already initialized the buttons. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Sorry, hard to vocalize everything that's going through my head as I'm reviewing code. It's always a little bit tough because I'm trying to make sure nothing's wrong, but it's just not worth vocalizing at all. Tutorial. This is all fine. It's fine. Okay, so here's where we're going to start seeing a lot of red on the left side. And that was the entire point of this. We got a ton of this stuff out of the town. And the town is already a gigantic class. And this should have drastically cut it down. I estimated about 100 lines, but I guess we're not technically done. But we're about to see how many we actually did remove once we get to the bottom here. No, that's fewer than I thought. It's 46. Wait, no, it's not 46. Sorry, hang on. How do we... No, it is 46. All right, well, whatever. That's still something. We're refactoring the town. We removed the UI from, or at least a lot of the UI from the town, not all of it. Town menu. This is looking good. 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 Yeah, nice. Okay. Any other things that we have here? I really, really want to refactor this code. That's going to be the next step, I think. Overlay visibility controller. I'll write that down. In, what is this class? UI.cs. Yeah. And then overlay visibility controller should be refactored so that there's just one function that everything calls. Remove the UI in a game. I do think it'd be cool to have an API only game that someone else has to write a client for and that you just provide game state. But I don't think people would want to write a client. This is fine. This is fine as long as it actually works, which probably does. But I don't think I explicitly tested this. So let's try it out. We need to open that and that, save, load, and click the perks boards. Yes, and yes, cool. All right. It's more or less a mud. Yeah, but I feel like I haven't really played a mud for longer than like 3 minutes, but I feel like they're text-based games. But I was thinking one that doesn't have to be a text-based game, but those probably exist. All perks trees. And why do we do that? So that we can load correctly? Okay, that's fine. All right, yeah. Okay, pretty reasonable. Okay, so move UI code out of town. I moved a lot of it, but not all of it, because I want to make sure I don't ruin anything. Hence this commit. Okay, let's keep going. In-game menu, let's go move that. Oh yeah, unused using there. So it was 47 lines. I have a note to run.NET format. We will get to that. So the in-game menu is over here. Let's go do all this stuff. This we get from ready. Doesn't need the UI part of that. Then we set save disabled immediately. I guess technically this should be part of a init. Yeah. Now the unhandled input, this can be moved. Not all of it, but just this part. And we put that down here. And delete all of that. All right, looks good. Keep going. This is loading from JSON save data. So we need to know if you've done your first battle. And that's pulled from your progression save data. So we potentially need all of this. We're not really going to need all of it, but we might as well put it right there. And put that there. Load that in. And the whole reason why is so that we can get this and set that this is enabled properly. Has done first battle comes from this. Yeah. Good. Keep going. Now there's all this setup in-game menu stuff. And is that all? No, one more. Two more? Three more? Four? No, just three. We'll get there. All right, so this can happen from a init. Doesn't even need the town. Oh, it does need the town. Oh god, there were like 4 other functions we need to call too. Oh, and the game settings menu. Okay, try to load game. What does that do? Try to load game. This entire thing probably doesn't need to be here anymore, but it does have a scene transition call. This is very intertwined with other stuff. There's our scene transition. Does this have to be here? No, it doesn't. Because it's only the UI where this happens. So it could be moved. So this entire function could be moved. Oh man. All right. I got to write that down then. Scene transition. Yeah. Okay. We're making progress. Return to title screen. What is that? Easy. Anything else here? Game settings menu. We already have that written down, right? Yeah, game settings menu. We got to do that next. Or well, soon. Not next, maybe. And then this can be imported. As can this. Okay. And let's just write 46 removed lines from this commit. Okay, in-game menu should be done. In-game menu. Oh, no, there are two left. Two left. In-game menu set save disabled. So it'll no longer be disabled. Shouldn't we mark the tutorial complete? We do. Why do we? Oh, this is unnecessary. Even before we did anything, it was unnecessary. And now this calls on complete tutorial, which is hopefully already being used over here. Nope. Oh. What a day. What a day. This is easy. I mean, that is what I want, but I want it to be in its own function. Good. And good. And then move all this to the bottom. All right. I think we're done with in-game menu completely, right? Yes. So now it should only show up in UI stuff. Perfect. Okay, so that one's done. Next up is scene transition. This we actually have to move. But how? It did not show up in the UI layer itself. But I don't think that matters. Yeah, I'm going to just cut this and put it over here. Paste. And we're going to hope that just magically works. We'll try it all out soon enough. So that's scene transition. Oh, set up in-game menu. Did I call that? Yeah, I did. Ready. Okay, any others? Nope. Well, that was easy. Yeah, that was easy. Hey, Campbell Soup. Okay, so that one's done. Next up is game settings menu. I did not look at the feasibility of this one, but hopefully it's easy. Game settings menu. Let's see. We get game options from here. Why? So that we can save them. What in the world? This is weird. Why do we do that? Well, we literally just use it for this one thing. Oh, this is not smart. And then we save it here. And then we don't access the member variable. Okay, well, saving it in the end battle screen makes sense. But we could just fetch it from the town. So I could just do this. Game options. And then we don't need to pass this in here. So then anything that called that doesn't need to pass that in. So we don't need game options from that. Which means we don't need it from here either. Meeting Monday is finally done. I can do some real work. Nice. Roll up those sleeves. 5 hours of meetings, 2 hours of task management. Why do we unpause the game in game settings? Isn't it enough to force one frame process? I don't understand the second question, but the first question is just because we have a to-do item that we haven't finished about not pausing it there. Where is it? Or this, yeah. We just haven't done this yet. So game options in the end battle screen. This now doesn't exist. It's got to be pulled from there. But we're still going to have an issue with this, won't we? Something about this. Yeah. We're pulling it from the town, which pulls it from a different thing altogether. It's going to need to pull it from UI. But even then, this is the only place we use this. Shouldn't this just pull it directly from the UI itself then? And then same thing over here? Yeah, I think I want to do that. UI.game options. And where do we have the other one here? This. This can go into the UI as well. Oh, we're almost there. And then the last thing is this. Yeah. Okay. Now to get all the game settings menu stuff. Man, this is nuts. I am very glad we're doing this though. Why do we call load twice? Local settings saver and then save data. Oh, I see. There are two different things we can load. Wait, what? Game settings menu dot load. How does this take in two different kinds of things? Are there two different functions? There are. Oh. Well. Swear I remember you making a game about bots fighting. Yeah, hey Harvey, that was Botland. And hey Pneumatist. Yeah, this is what I spent like 5 years doing. Man. I still like the idea of Botland. Yeah. I remember that, Kevin. I just didn't realize that there were two functions for that. I see it got completed. I mean, it got completed and then it got discontinued, and now it's going to get open sourced. Hopefully by the end of this year. But this new game's going great. If you want to check this out, it's right here. The game that we're working on. Also, in case you're curious, the last time you were here was about 6 years ago. And in case you're curious even further, here's one of the questions you asked back then. I've been off the grid for a while. How did the launch of Botland go? But welcome back. Happy 6-year hiatus from the stream. I don't think I was using Sublime in 2019. I think I'd switched to VS Code by then. Do I? Oh no, you don't need to apologize whatsoever. Oh, I don't have the date in there. Yeah, it's not like anyone needs to watch a stream even if you enjoy it. I get that people come and go, and that programming is not everyone's cup of tea to watch. Okay, game settings menu we now need. We just got to go fetch this. And just getting all this stuff in one spot is nice. All right, now all of these things used to be done. This was inside of ready, and then some of it needs to be in init. I want to separate these things so that this stuff's only happening from ready. That's all we're doing is fetching nodes. All right, game scale control clicked. That's an event. What listens for this? The battle panel? Okay. We're gonna have this thing own the... Oh, it doesn't though. Ooh. Ooh, indeed. I mean, we could just get this from the UI, I guess. Or can you? I think you can. And then what does this thing do? Music delay interval. There's some audio player that listens for this. Yeah, I kind of want these to just be in the UI. I don't fully remember if there's a problem with doing this. So let's try it out and just see what happens. Okay, so now this is from the UI. Oh yeah, that works. Okay. I guess it's invoking an event that you can't do when you're doing it through a property. Dude loves his botland. What can I say, Lebowski? Add a game to wishlist. Nice, 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 nice. You could treat a coding stream as body doubling, right? Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think this stream lends itself well to that, which is also why I think kind of chat activity is generally pretty low in the stream. I think a lot of people are just doing their own thing as they're watching. Well, watching, consuming. Oh, wait, Harvey, if you're going to play the game, here's what I'd say. Wait for about a month before playing. And the only reason why is because I'm working on some features right now that I think you're going to enjoy that aren't there yet and are going to drastically change how you consume the game. So we have a farm in the game now and a fishing pond in the game, and they're not in the demo. And I think these things are going to change how people play. Yeah, let's turn off the super speed thing that we have going on here. So if you hear me mention that Checkpoint 6 is launched, that's the time when I'd say, like, definitely check it out. The screen had just popped up at a whole lot. Yeah, and it's not that I don't think you'll have fun right now if you were to play it, but there's about maybe like 90 minutes of content right now in the demo, and all the feedback you could probably give is something people have probably already said. So if we just look at this, I've gotten now 35 responses. Hang on one sec. Yeah, I can only show you the top couple of things. But most people had fun playing, which is good to hear. And then most people said it should be, I guess it was kind of a tie. 43% said it should be between $5 to $9. 43% said it should be 10 to 14. And some people said it should probably be less than that. So the majority of people said that it should be less than 10 bucks. What happened with the job thing? I've got the job command there that kind of explains it. In short, I worked at Google for 3 years and 1 day, and I quit due to lack of fulfillment. And that video talks more about that. But yeah, that's a quick summary. Okay, this is loading from save data inside the UI, and we already have something like that going on. And that has save data, game options, save data. So we can just put this over here. Good to have on the resume. Yeah, I'm hoping the resume is never needed for the rest of my life. But we'll see how that goes. I plan to launch Skeleseller this year. It's going to be a monetized game. It's going to be a one-time purchase sort of thing. I'm aiming for like 10 bucks. And I'm not expecting sales to be at the level where it's like, oh man, we made millions. This is a surprise hit. Who would have known? But I think it can do well. So yeah, I'm hoping it makes a decent amount of money, but we'll see. All we're doing now is just making sure the game is as fun as possible. Okay, what are we missing now? Dialogger, yeah, I haven't done that yet. And we are initializing these things properly. I'm surprised we don't have many issues yet. So game settings menu should be totally done, right? Game settings menu, yeah, it doesn't show up here at all. So this is finished. Dialogger is next. So what is this needed for? Literally this one function, and that's it. Spawn built first shop dialogue. What does it say? Great job. Customers will now be attracted to your town to buy your wares. Where is this used? When you create a shop, if you didn't have any shops already? If you didn't have any shops, then... Oh, that doesn't complete the tutorial, though. Wait, what? What does it say? Customers will now be attracted to your town to buy your wares. Keep battling to earn more items. Does this show up? I don't recall this ever showing up. hang on. I want to go see if this even shows up in the game. Great job. What does that say? Skip tutorial stops it from showing up. Okay, maybe that's why we never saw it. How do you find coding in 2025 compared to 2019 with the rise of AI? So I've been using Copilot now for about a year, I'd say. And in general, I kind of sum it up as being like smart autocomplete. However, they just added something called NES, which is next edit suggestion or suggestions or something like that. And the way that this works is instead of you saying something like foo dot and then it auto completes with like bar equals whatever baz, it'll do that as well. But then it'll also be like, oh, now that you've written that line up here, you should probably add in a comment saying something like this, and just imagine it, put some text there. And what happens is it'll show you a little arrow while your cursor's still down here. And if you just press tab, it goes up here and then tab again and it fills it in. So that really changed things a lot, I think. And that it just got that much smarter about what you probably want to do. Like to make the next game comfortably? Yeah, exactly, Zenus. Or are we supposed to use localized strings now? Yes, and I do want to get to that stuff. I'm just pushing for checkpoint 6, and then I'm going to spend some time stabilizing. Stabilization. I want to be clear, this involves localization. I should do some push for that. All right, what is this error? An object reference is required. This is inside the UI, so we can't run this because we don't have the dialogger, which means I can't test this out yet. Well, let's just delete this then. Oh, wait, we probably can't delete that. We can delete this, though, at least. Hey, Sanyanders. Whoops. What do you think about people saying AI taking over software engineers? I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. If you're just saying the general trend that that's what's probably going to happen, I mean, I think we're probably on that track. I think it'll be a big shame at first what happens, because a lot of times, let's just say in general, just history as a whole, you go from something that's bad to something that's good, but it's not a snap your fingers kind of thing. So there's this big transition period for a lot of this stuff. And anything involving legislature is typically one of those cases. You don't just introduce a new law and then, oh, wow, everybody just magically adjusted. It's like, well, there's a transition period and people need to see, is this good? How do people treat it? What happens? It's the same thing with AI. If you consider bad to have just been, pre-AI and good to be post-AI, and again, I'm taking a very reductive view of this for a reason, the transition period is going to be terrible. Imagine that in the future, like software engineers are replaced. The transition period is going to be that junior jobs are replaced. And that is not going to be fun for a bunch of people who got a degree in computer science and are looking for a position. And I've always kind of said this in the past, if you create just as many jobs as you're destroying, then it's really just causing the workforce to adjust, which is still painful, but I think it's at least doable. But if you end up deleting more jobs than you create, then it's just putting people out of work. And at first, that transition period is going to be an accumulation of wealth in a small number of pockets and a bunch of people out of a job. So yeah, I think that part of it's definitely going to suck. I think in our, ideal future where we replace software engineers and we're just out doing creative things, or we have a universal basic income or something, I think it could be a different world. But I think getting there, yeah, it could be tough. And then there's a question of technical feasibility. Will that happen? Will AI get to that point? And I think there are very invested parties in this right now. There's a lot of money in AI right now. And I don't necessarily mean in having an AI job. I mean, there are people who are big companies that are spending the kind of money that if this were ever to get done, it'd probably get done. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens with all this stuff. For right now, I see it's in like good tool territory. So it's like using an IDE. Using an IDE is pretty uncontroversial, and it is probably going to boost your productivity. Kind of the same thing with AI, except for it's more controversial. If an idiot like me can make something passable for a 10-year-old. Yeah, so I think it does a decent job at a bunch of different things. And you'll see me use AI suggestions every once in a while. And I think it's especially great. And I think most people would agree with this. If you don't know the syntax for something, AI almost certainly knows the syntax at least. It might make up function names and stuff, but it's rarely making up syntax. Maybe on some like edge cases of things. But in general, it's like if you're trying to call a function in a language you don't know, the AI can like fill it in for you. So I think it's a great learning tool as long as you're only supplementing your learning and not leaning on this thing super heavily. Encrypted cipher. It's already 2 p.m. where I'm at. Wow. Yeah, for me, just so you know. Oh, I guess at the same time. I was going to say daylight saving time happened. I don't know where people live. If they can put AI into a robot and it can do my housework, I'm pro AI. Yeah, man, that would be great. If an AI can iron my clothes and not burn our place down, I would never iron another shirt in my life. You can bet on that. I'd save so much time. Also, that's like the dream, right? The AI is automating all the boring stuff for us. It's not like, oh, hey, you want to play this video game and you sit down and AI just beat the video game for you. Like, that's not what we want. We want it to iron our clothes. Yeah, make me breakfast in bed. We want those sorts of tasks. Juniors are largely a net negative. But the thing is, juniors are an investment. And I think the investment gets paid off across companies sometimes, such that you're essentially getting them paid off within your own company. Like imagine someone joins your team from college. They're going to grow even if you don't reap those rewards. And then later you hire a senior engineer who had to have been a junior on some team at some point in the past, not necessarily from college. That part wasn't really relevant, but just that they're new to a job environment. So I think they might start as a net negative, but they shouldn't end as a net negative. And the problem is you don't get to senior developers without having them be junior at some point. You don't just go from like, okay, I learned hello world to I'm a senior dev. Copilot invented name function args for me. Would have been pretty helpful if it was real. Yeah, it does still, I guess, mess up syntax, but I think it's generally good at least basic stuff. Could hook it up to a steam room for clothes. What would the AI do in that case, I guess? Because I want it to just iron for me. I don't think those menial tasks need a lot of AI, more so precise engineering. Yeah, that's true. But the way I'm picturing it is there's some like, I guess pretty much what you see in sci-fi movies. There's some android-like robot that has some appendages that let it do all the things that a human would be able to do. And it's got AI to then go do all the precision stuff and understand it's not supposed to, pull out our hearts and eat them. That would be great. I like my heart. It might do it capability wise, but doesn't have the same potential payoff. Oh, I think it could have the same potential payoff. I just think it would ruin a lot of people's lives in the process. Because like imagine if you had an AI senior engineer that cost $50,000 a year instead of $100,000 a year. It's like, okay, sure. So you've got like a small data center running on just this one engineer, and they're doing just as well as a senior would. It might not have the super long-term payoff of like becoming a distinguished engineer or something like that. But who knows? Maybe it does. Try the Sesame demo? I have not, no. First line teleport support teams seem like a real target now for replacement. Excuse me. Yeah, that's another thing that's scary. There are a lot of jobs where, like, I imagine most humans don't like doing a telephone support job. Like, you get yelled at a lot. You're reading off a script. There's no like creativity and stuff, and yet a lot of people are doing those jobs. So now what happens when an AI is doing them? Then you replace senior engineers too. I was thinking about when you were only able to replace juniors. Oh, in the thing I'm talking about though, we had the bad, and then we had the transition period, and then we had good. I think you can expand transition period to be like transition period stage 1 to transition period stage 2, ... And stage 1, or not even stage 1, maybe like stage 13 is replace juniors, and then stage 25 is replace seniors. If stage 25 never happens, then I'm actually not sure. That probably really hurts. Zinka, welcome in. You are purposely doing this. I've been trying to raid you for forever. I do appreciate the raid. But yeah, I was thinking it's Monday. I'm going to raid Zinka today. But anyway, so it goes. Welcome in, everybody. She said she owes, you owe her 2 raids now. I think I already owed her 2 raids, but okay. I guess instead of owing her 3, I'll owe her 2. Although I don't know if the times will ever align. Well, welcome in Zinka and Zinka's viewers. We're working on Skeleseller, and a very, very short sort of elevator pitch here is that you send adventurers into battle. They do battle automatically for you. And when they win, you get items that you then sell in your town. So it's a town management, laid back, casual game. It's got a Steam demo out now, but I don't recommend trying it because we're working on so much other stuff that if people don't mind waiting, you'd get a better game if you do wait. But yeah, we just added in farming last week. So the way this works is you can turn on this thing. This is the seed maker. And then your workers will bring your potions here. It'll plant seeds. And then these seeds will grow. And you can harvest carrots and stuff. Maybe take down the demo. I want to keep it online for the people who don't find the demo through this stream. If someone were to do a YouTube video and be like, hey, the game's available to play, I want people to still go be able to play it. But if I can tell people to hold off myself, I would tell them to hold off for like a month. But yeah, you're right. I could just take it offline. How long have I been working on it and what stack am I using? I've been working on it for about a year, and I have, I guess pretty much that's it. It's just Godot and C#. Carrot harvesting is huge. There are other plants too. Take a look at this. You can upgrade the crop variety thing and end up, and actually also this, let's get rid of that. So now the rocks are all gone. And now we will spew a bunch of items in and get a bunch of workers. And they'll bring them all down here and plant their seeds. Nice. And now I'll speed up the game a bit. And you'll see all the other stuff grow. Yeehaw. It's a real farm. Yeah, so we got peppers, tomatoes, grapes, and pumpkins. And they're worth different amounts of food, but the food doesn't do anything to the game yet. The garden of my dreams. Those 5 things. Like a pumpkin tomato smoothie. Am I using the glove keyboard? No, this is the corn keyboard. Do you fight the carrots? No, you only fight fish. These you just harvest by clicking. Do the apple trees give food now? No, they still give gold. I'm still not totally sure what I want to do about that. I think I want there to be perks somewhere that modify the foraging in the game, if you call that foraging. Is it organic or does it use chemical pesticides? It's purely chemicals. I don't know if you saw, but you're bringing potions in and somehow you're getting seeds from that. So yeah, do with that knowledge what you will. Anyway, what we're about to test is this. Do we ever see this dialogue in the game? Because yeah, I don't think this shows up. Anyways, Zinka, how have you been doing? How's your Game Boy Color thing going? I looked at one of your VODs briefly to see what the progress was like. But that was a VOD and you streamed today. So I'm curious. Okay, so we get this. Your adventurers fight automatically for you. We will speed this up. It should tell us to build a shop. Yep, we click that. And then nothing triggers this dialogue, or does something trigger it? Camera.unlock and then dialogue.set dialogue. The dialogue tries to show but can't. Ah, I see. So there must be something in here to check to see, do we already have a dialogue? Interesting. So this used to be our thing that said keep going, and now we have a tutorial dialogue that pops up right here, although I don't see it. Oh, there it is. You have an adventurer, a shop, and some customers. Keep battling, selling, and building to grow Skeletown. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think we're going to delete this dialogue then. I'm kind of stuck, but it's getting there. Fixed a bug that makes the game load screen reset. Oh, so it is connecting to a proper like Game Boy ROM at this point? So hey, Darth Maul. Yeah, farming is done. Okay, interesting. So we can just delete this whole thing. Except for the camera.unlock. We need that. Yeah, let's delete that. And then this actually shouldn't be needed. Why is this called here when building a shop for the first time? We already have a camera.unlock call, so even this was unnecessary. So we don't need this at all either. Wow. Now we don't need this. Okay. And then there's one other thing I could have done. What was it? Oh God, I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay, not too bad, I guess. Just the initial game title screen. What is the what's backing that title screen though? Is it just like a picture you mean? I'd love for a feature in the game where you just sorry, hang on a second. I'd love for a feature in the game. I think you mean you. Okay, I gotcha. I got very caught up for a second. Where you can start some sort of business, starting a restaurant, food market, some sort. Yeah, so here's let me go do something really fast. Debug 2, let's do that. Yeah. Oh. So the farm is the only way of getting food in the game right now. And oh drat. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Hang on one sec. This needs to be changed, and then that. So the farm is the only source of food, and the only way to harvest the food is to click it for right now. And instead of it turning into an item, you just end up sort of magically getting it in your quote unquote inventory. What I was thinking about doing is that, let's speed this up. Okay. So instead of just clicking it and getting the food, I was thinking what could happen is it could drop it on the ground, sort of like how you see items get dropped on the ground here. So imagine you saw like a pumpkin on the ground or something. And then your workers could come pick it up and bring it to the guild or bring it to a silo or something. And then there's no reason why we couldn't have you also be able to sell them. Although I guess you'd need a food stall or something for that. But I'm not certain how that's going to pan out. So for right now, no one has really tested the farming system or the fishing system in terms of gameplay because they're not hooked up to the proper rewards yet. Eventually, farming will let you improve your adventurer's health, and fishing will let you improve their fortitude. But since those things aren't connected, I haven't even released a demo where people could see this end to end. Once that's done, I think we're going to get a lot of feedback on just how this stuff works. Like, oh, hey, it's nice to harvest carrots, but like at some point I want my workers to do this. And we don't have a way for them to do that in the game yet, although I do want to add that as a perk at some point. So yeah, we need to get some feedback. We need to see where it kind of naturally progresses to. Something like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but for farming. Yeah, and to be fair, that is kind of like the rest of the game. And I want to make sure it's not too samey throughout. So for example, you get an armor shop, you get a weapon shop, and then your workers will go bring their items there and sell these things. And these are things you're typically earning from battle. So now these customers will come through and eventually buy some of this stuff, and we'll restock the shop. They're just gonna go walk around. There we go. they better buy something. Yeah. Yeah. CSS and keyframes just says Stone's Edge, all fancy. The press pause pulsing text below, but the animation only worked the first time because I had to reset the position after turning it off. That's still really cool though. Does this make you want to get into game dev? Is there a sorting system for the chest so I can set a chest to food items and only food goes there? So the only thing you have for selling right now is shops, and they're all specifically for a category. So this is your potion shop, this is your armor shop, and this is your weapon shop. So there's no real need to set what the destination would be in a shop because they're all devoted shops anyway. But there are quests in the game, and quests are a way that you can have multiple destinations for one item. So for example, a blue potion could go here, but it could also go in the potion shop. What will happen is your workers will prioritize. Oh, that is not something I thought about. This out prioritizes even the quests. Anyway, your workers can bring potions to a quest, and they will do that before bringing it to a shop. So if I spawn enough potions here, you'll see 2 of them go over here, and then the rest will go over to the shop. Eventually, we might put some kind of switch here to make it so you could like temporarily turn off a quest, because now we have the ability to do that through these things too. So we could just add something here like a gate. In fact, actually a gate would be pretty cool. Been slowly learning Three.js, so yeah, kind of. Totally different realm. It is a totally different realm, but it's a very fun realm. I haven't tried Three.js, although I'm familiar with it, the existence of it, I mean, and what it does. But I think it's like what you're doing with the Game Boy stuff. There's a lot of visual feedback on it, and I feel that about games too, except that games have more of the input to them. And of course, games have a different purpose in the end. APX. 3JS or Babylon.js. So I haven't used either one. What I used back when I was doing graphic stuff in JavaScript was Pixie.js. And I think Pixie.js can be used for any kind of rendering. I don't know. I only used it for 2D stuff. This is what was powering Botland. So the graphics you saw in game, like in this video, were done with Pixie.js. Is there in-game currency? Darth Maul, I am gonna stop answering your questions until you played Skeleseller. Okay. I've talked to you about this enough. So Dialogger, we only started to do and didn't finish, and I need this to be in the UI. And let's reload this. Really got to get back to work. All right, yeah, take care, Zinka, and I will hopefully be able to raid you at some point. Thank you again. And shout out to Zinka. Okay, so now this isn't used anywhere else. Let's go do that. Oh, and this does need to be public. Drat. Okay. I'm probably gonna pronounce your name wrong, but is it Nan? Like not a number? Or non? But I saw you stream too, right? I think usually you're toward the end of your streams when I end, so I don't know if I've gotten to raid you yet. No, I haven't. I try to find people who I'm not following, who stream in English, and who have kind of a low uptime. Because I've had a bunch of people who they're streaming for like 4 hours or something, and then I go raid them, and they're like, okay, well, see you, bye, everybody. It's like, well, I guess I shouldn't have raided them. And I think you stream at probably roughly the same time as me. All right, we're gonna put this in here. Good. And then anything that we're going to access this before now needs to access it from a different place. So it would have been just .dialogger, I guess. Yeah, this would all be UI now. I think that's fine. I think we'll just make this change everywhere. Be nice if this deleted these. Non as in non-bread. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, hi, non. I'll write that down. Cool. Yeah, so a lot of the reason why I have the sort of raid rules that I do is because I like exploring who else is in the community, and that means being able to watch them for some amount of time. And that's kind of the only time I end up finding new people because I watch very little Twitch in general, and most of the Twitch I watch is now going to just Redbeard who's playing Hearthstone, and that's what I watch before falling asleep. So yeah, I don't tend to discover a lot of people anymore. I used to go searching through the game categories. There are a lot of old games that I like watching. Typically either speed runs of, which I've kind of just almost completely toned down, or people playing for the first time. And the problem with watching people play old games for the first time is that there's a roughly 10 to 20 hour window in their lifetime that you could watch them play for the first time and then never again. Because every time after that will be the second or the third or the fourth. Also, I know I can blanket find and replace these things. I'm purposely looking through this to make sure there's nothing funky going on here. But even that I toned down because the way I want to watch someone play a game is very specific. I don't want them to allow back seating so I can see them tackle the game. And a lot of modern gamers don't have patience for older games anymore. I've seen that play out quite a lot. And it's kind of sad. Every piece of media has a lifespan on it, games included. And even games that people think are generally pretty good, like Super Metroid. I've watched people play nowadays, and they just don't have as much fun as I think they would have if it were the main game that were out. I watch too much Twitch in our software category. I mean, that's good. I think it's good to get an idea of who's around, who's in the community, and especially if you're trying to grow as a streamer. Like at some point I stopped kind of caring about growth as a streamer. Because for me, I want the accountability of streaming, and I want the, like, you know, kind of minor marketing that goes into it. But if I were talking with people all the time, I don't think I'd be productive anymore. And I've had periods of growth where that happened, like right around, I don't know, 300 viewers. I think it becomes sort of unsustainable to code and to talk all the time. Up until then, it's okay, or you could glance at chat or something, but then I don't know, it's too much. At least it was for me. Hey, Cass. Love the game. Already wishlisted. Please don't remove the demo. I have almost 3 hours so far. Have fun trying different teammates. Cool. Yeah, I don't plan on removing the demo probably ever, but at some point we have a decision to make, which is that the demo will have too much content. And at that point, we've got to stop new content from going in. So I want to test out these farming and fishing systems for sure. But will we add in like 20 more locations and 10 more adventurers or something? No. We're not going to do this stuff because this would mean that you're pretty much just playing the full game at that point. So I got to be careful about that. But yeah, I don't think the demo's ever going to go offline. Only watch you and Windy Beard. Oh yeah, I saw you there, I think yesterday, APX. Although for whatever reason, I don't think we talked to each other. All right, dialogue stuff is done, and this should be loading, and everything should be working. Yeah, I've been for hours on and off stream. Yeah, I've met a few people through streaming now over the years. Okay, yeah, it looks like all the dialogues are working. Let's try a multi-part dialogue. Not that I expect there'd be a problem there. Yep, looks like it's good. Still to listen to the podcast. I really liked it. And I think Windy did a good job. I was going to say something that sounded like an insult, which is I think it painted Windy in a good light. I don't think Windy is a bad person or anything, but I like his insights on the podcast. I thought it was good. I guess my sort of latent point there is there sort of fluffy podcasts where there's a lot of there's just fluff. It's like, oh, hey, what do you like to do or something like that. And granted, I've done interviews and that's kind of some of the stuff I ask too. But when it comes to a game dev podcast, like I already know Windy, so I want to find out more about the game that he's developing. And I did. I think there was a really good podcast. Okay, this is looking good. Yeah. Man, we're gonna actually get to the point where we work on perks, right? If not, I'm gonna try to do some of this tomorrow. I really, really want to make another YouTube short tomorrow. I want to make a short that does well. And we're just going to keep working on shorts until I finally make one that does well, because this is basically my marketing campaign at this point. Why hire influencers when you can be the influencer? This deleted quite a lot of code from town, which is great. I estimated 100 lines, but I think this would have pushed us over 100. Yeah, nice. Okay, this is all looking good. How much did we delete this time? We deleted 95? No, 103. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'm not going to try to count. It's the end of the day. I'm not doing math. All right, what haven't we done now? The debug menu and the level up banner. Move more code out of town. Yeah, there's really not much to say here. It's just more of the same. Yeah, I didn't see anything unusual here. Everything still seemed to work. The only thing I did not check is, did we end up checking in that thing where it changes the size of the town? There's a vector. No, we did not. Okay, cool. Done. Few ways of getting demos. Yeah, one of the things I'd like to have, and I think this is the mark of a good demo. Let's say the full gameplay is 10 hours long, and let's say the demo gives you 2 hours of it. I think it's really nice when the demo lets you carry over your save file to the full game. The only time I don't think I'd want that to happen is if the demo changed significantly enough where, like, oh, the beginning of the game has, 10 more cutscenes or something. Then yeah, okay, delete the save file. That's fine. But if it is pretty much the same game and it's already released, then yeah, keeping it I think is good. All right, we create a debug menu so that we can add it to the UI. But then we also have a bunch of functions that get called. And the functions are almost entirely in here, right? Like, what is update speed button? It's just said C engine timescale. This is upgrade shop. Nodes of type shops. We don't have a get shops thing? We do. And that gets nodes with a shop component and cast them to a shop. I feel like we should just write that. And then we don't need this either. Is that public? It is. Okay, so this is not worth doing. Yeah, this is not worth doing. Okay, we're not going to do this. This I will check in because this shouldn't matter. Oh wait, do we even have that button? The button isn't even there. Oh, there it is. Okay, we do have it. And it just gives you one more thing. I bet we're gonna delete that. I'm not sure if Kevin or Dark use that, but I don't. Does it still work at least? Yeah, it does. Yeah, okay, well, we'll leave it for now. Slightly improve upgrade shops. It used more code than it had to. Okay, and then the final thing here, so that we're, well, maybe not a check mark, but a minus sign or something like that. The level up banner is the last thing. And this is just show level up banner, which has a task that does this stuff. This could be moved to the UI, but it would still need to play a sound in the town, which it has a reference to the town, so I guess it's not really a big problem. But it's really just a UI thing, so I think we will move it. Might as well just get more code out of here. All right, put this over here. Oh wait, could we listen to an event? Yeah, beat elite instance for first time. We could just listen for that. We don't need to call this. Well, well, well. Not too bad. Where to get the artwork from? Check out this. The short answer is asset packs at first and then Quickie Joe to build stuff on top of it. So something like, let me show you. Something like this. These are all custom graphics, but they match the style of the underlying asset pack still. So if you were to buy the asset pack, you don't get any of these things. That was all Quickie Joe's work. And they look great. I love them. We have not put the golem into the game yet, but we have all the other adventurers in the game. All right, so this is going to get called from here. We get this in init. Put this here, I guess. Beat elite instance is going to be show level up banner. Private void show. We put this over here. And then this is going to be the async version of this, I guess. Is there a way to not have to worry about that? All right, now we just have to import this stuff. And we are good. Okay, let's go try that. Oh, wait, there's a bug here. No overload matches. Yeah, sure. Just change the method. I don't care. Wait, what? Was this taken? An instance ID? Fine. I mean, if we're going to do this, then I might as well just call the async version and not have the intermediate function. Yeah. And then not even call it async because it doesn't matter. It's obvious from the definition it's asynchronous. This should not be erroneous anymore. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so now we got to beat a boss. Let's do that. We need to make sure that the sound plays too. Why is that so loud? Oh, because the music's turned down? Huh. Nice. Okay, cool. Turn all the sounds off. And check that in. Yeah. Move level up banner to UI. So that concludes all of the refactoring that we had to do today. So this is all done. We originally removed 46 lines, but I guess the best way to test this is to just go to GitHub, type in town.cs, and then count the number of lines here. It's not like we have to physically count. We'll just look at the very bottom of this and see. 1921, and we are now at 1765. 156 lines gone. It's 56% more than my estimate. All right, what else do we have here? Battle panel is owned by this. Yeah, this is something I'll have to think about. Make a short and then code stuff. Okay, move all the git node calls. Git node. I think these are scattered about. Yeah, I don't want this here. I don't really think any of that stuff needs to be there. 1.5K to go. All right, so that's all the git node stuff. They have this in a init. I guess we can put this down here. All right, should still build. Yep, cool. Move git node calls in UI.cs. Done, run this. Done, run .NET format. We just gotta wait for it to finish. It takes like 20 seconds. And then this should be refactored, so there's one function that calls everything else. Und sind wir auch done. Yeah, and we can finally work on the perks. I can't help but think of that episode of South Park where they're playing World of Warcraft and they get their whatever 33 million experience killing boars and they say, now we can finally play the game. That's what today was. Let's do 6 hours of coding so we can do 4 hours of coding. So that brings it up to 159 lines of code deleted, which is pretty good. Because it was what? 159 divided by 1921 times 100. We got rid of 8.3%. That's not bad. Not bad at all. All right, time to go change overlay visibility controller. Let's go do that. So we have the same function written out 400 times, and we're going to not write it out 400 times. So the way I think we want to do this is rather than explicitly toggling one of these things, we have a function that tells us which thing we want to toggle and a dictionary that controls correlation between the IDs and the actual UI. And I think this should be pretty easy to do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We need to make a new enumeration in some folder. Let's go find out what. This is one of the harder parts of this task is figuring out where to put something. Here, yeah, sure, that looks good. All right, so we should have an icon ID here. Yeah, let's go take that. Icon ID, save this as UI ID. And here comes problem number 2, which is UI ID looks a lot like UUID. Is that gonna be a problem? Yeah, let's leave that for future us to decide. You can always rename it. UIID. Oh, I guess we would write it like that. Yeah, I guess we would. Okay, fine. Let's do that then. UIID. Can you do this? I don't think I've ever done that on Mac. Yeah, you can apparently. Okay. I don't know if that would have worked on Windows. Although now it looks like UILD. But let's stop worrying about that, I guess. All right, so what UIs do we have? We're going to need an ID for all of them. Since UIID should never appear in a save file. Sounds good. All right, what are they? Town perks, fishing perks, town perks. Oh, wait, I don't need to do that. Forest perks, fight. This isn't at all what I want. Farm perks. What else? Skill tree. Battle panel. Any others? Fishing, farming, town, skill tree, battle map. That's it. Okay, not too bad. Nest the ID inside UI, UI.panel ID. Yeah, I think that'd be a good way of doing this. Wait, hang on a second. I don't know who's gonna call this. Let's leave it at this for now. I'll write down your suggestion for the end. Why did that not copy your suggestion? Let's try that again. There. Okay. So now we have these IDs, and now we want one thing that's going to handle all of this. So we're going to get a dictionary. We have all these things at the beginning, right? Yeah, we do. But even that, I'm not sure I want to do. And we keep track of every UI. These are 5 of them. And then don't we do something like this inside of UI itself? They're like the perks things. Yeah, all perks trees. I don't think we should do that. I think what we should do is we should put these 5 things that are controlled by the overlay visibility controller into overlay visibility controller. And then it should just know how to manage its own things. Yeah, let's try that. So we put this here, and then we put this right beneath the dialogger. That didn't work. Let's try that again. There we go. And then we should really just bake these into the scene here, which is just an empty control for right now. But let's not do that part just yet. But I do want to write that down too. Clean up. Consider moving the 5 panels directly into the overlay visibility controller scene. You know, one of the things about AI that you kind of get used to is that it's just going to autocomplete for you everywhere. Like, I didn't want to type this out. This is not a normal English word. And it knows I typed it once before. Probably at some point in the future, Google Docs will know that when you type overlay V like that, oh, hey, you already typed something like that. Let's just fill that in. But it doesn't do that right now. It makes my poor human brain work harder. That's not why we invented computers. So now they're all underneath this. So the overlay visibility controller could get them all. Should it? Who should own these? Oh, this already does own them? Wait, what? Are there 2 owners? What do we do this for? We initialize them. Whoa, yeah, this seems dumb. This seems really dumb. This is gonna make Kevin's work harder. Yeah, I can fix all of this, but I need to verify before I do. Where's town perks? There it is. Oh, this one's public. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. And this is used from the menu, but that's it. It's just used for that. There's probably an easier way to do this too, huh? Money changed. Town perks can't afford any skill. What is this? Can add skill point in the perks tree. And this knows how to, yeah, this knows how to check. Basically doing the same. Okay. This will probably go away and tab controller will replace it. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to figure out, man, this is who's gonna own these UIs? Because moving farming and fishing perks is dead simple. Yeah, that's dead simple. But then we have 3 other things. Battle panel, which is questionable right now. Yeah, that's, I guess, technically simple. And then two other ones, town perks, which is a little bit harder. And there's a fifth one. What's the fifth one? Skill tree. What uses skill tree? No, skill tree's got some entanglement over here. Okay, well, we could have overlay visibility controller own everything anyway and have the UI set up all this skill tree stuff. It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter, I think. Like all of these just come from events from the town, don't they? Yes. My envision is that the tab container will own them, so you can move them to the overlay controller thingy or leave it as is and we'll clean up later for tabs. Yeah, I think we should move it to there. That way UI isn't some mega class anyway. Okie dokie. Let's go do this stuff. It's going to be another big change though. What have we done so far? Nothing. Nothing. We'll get there. Okay, so what are we moving out? We're moving out this, and battle panel. So now we move those over here. Oh, which were already written here. They're just written there with different casing because we need these things to be public now, some of them. Oh boy, and there's just got to be done in ready. All right, fine. GD ready. Put this in here. Okay, so the two that change are town perks and battle panel, and this is gonna be gone. This is gonna be gone. This, and this. Probably shouldn't have done that without copying those first, but that's why we have commit history. So I'll just take these things and put them into here. All right, looking good. So now init doesn't need to pass in any of those things. Just delete them all. Goodbye. Yeah. And now we have a lot of errors to clean up. All right. No. Let's do it. So we need an initialization thing that happens here. That's already being done. We need there to be a load function over there too, though. And that's going to have to call overlay visibility controller load from save data. Yeah, which doesn't exist, which we will make exist. And it should probably pass in the save data, although I might not need that. We'll put this toward the bottom. This class is probably going to get smaller even with us adding some things to it. To see if we use the argument. All right, passed in save data. It says cannot convert because it doesn't know what the type of this thing is. It's still not loading. Okay, good. Now all these things will need to change too. All right, well, one step at a time. This is what's going to happen from the new load function that we have. All perks trees then needs to exist. Put that there. All perks trees needs to include these, which we did from init. I don't like that there are two of these things. We're definitely going to get rid of that. And then initialize these all separately. Good. Delete this stuff. Set up skill tree, and then there should be something on a battle panel somewhere, right? What are we doing with that? Nothing? Did the town do something with that? Yeah, it did. Oh. Does this happen twice? No, it doesn't. All right, silver lining. Now this doesn't exist. So we need to get this from the overlay visibility controller. This is the one thing I think of all the things that I've done so far today that I'm not happy with. This particular punch through of coupling that we have. But there, we fixed that problem. Now what's wrong up here? Okay, now we just have another million bugs. Debug grant most things. What calls this? What does call this? Town directly calls it. And now town perks exist somewhere else. Although we could just access it through the... Oh, wait a sec. Wasn't there somewhere else this is used? Oh boy. Only here. The town menu uses it just to figure out if you can afford a skill point. Town menu. We're going to eventually need this to pull from any of the perks things. Okay, and let's not worry about that for right now. Let's do the same thing we did with the other one. We'll just copy paste this and make this be town perks. I could have modified that one too. Okay, so now there's just a skill tree, debug unlock. It's really the overlay controller that cares about this stuff. And I don't know if we should expose, like this is essentially the combination of everything that can show up in the game where you only have one of them on the screen at a time. So adventurers, this is the skill tree. This is the battle panel. Then every manner of perks, which I'm only going to open up one of these, but like this. So if I were to press T on my keyboard right now, it opens up the adventure panel. If I press P, it opens up perks, but you can't have both open at once. That's what this class is for, overlay visibility controller. And this is essentially the owner of all of those dialogues that we have. So it owns town perks, it owns a battle map, it owns a skill tree, and then it owns the other two kinds of perks, which I don't have built right now. So that when we call this function, which only ends up accessing things in the overlay visibility controller, probably it indicates that this should be a function over there. But it's a debug function anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but fine, let's do it. Overlay visibility controller dot debug grant most things. And then move these two things over there. There we go. Done. All right, now what? Player ability level change. This is only called from an event. Yeah. Set up skill tree. This is fine. This is not fine. And then initializing it is fine. What about update selected character? What does that do? It's on complete quest. That's also going to be easy to do. Yeah, the only problem we have is this. Gotta punch through again. Does the model view controller design pattern fall flat in actual game dev execution? I feel like not as many people use it. I'm not actually totally sure why. I remember never mind. I was about to share kind of throw somebody under the bus, which doesn't really matter. It's not someone on this team anyway. It's someone who probably isn't even in the stream right now. But yeah, I think a lot of times people just directly modify wherever something is being stored in memory and just kind of try to make things available in places they shouldn't be rather than properly encapsulate them. Okay, so here the issue is that we have an event that needs to be emitted from some totally different thing. What I'd like to do what I'd like to do is have the one thing that's listening to this, which is right here, listen to it sort of like this by just getting the skill tree and calling it directly. This would let us cut through so much of what's going on here, but we shouldn't really care that there's a skill tree in there. This is the one thing I don't like about signals, and I'm not really sure what's best here. So imagine you have class A and you have class B, and class A wants to listen to an event on class B, dot something else. What's the best way to do this? And I think technically the proper way is to have an event at each of these levels. So there's some like signal A here, which gets turned into signal B here, which gets turned into signal C here, which then we end up listening to signal C, which is really redirected all the way from signal A. But it is tempting to just punch through all this and say, listen to class B dot something dot signal or something else dot signal A. This requires you to know all the implementation details of this class. I mean, it's exposing it, but it's only exposing it so that this thing can listen to an event. Signal bus pattern, maybe? How would we get, like, the way I think we do this in Godot is we would just keep emitting the signals up the class hierarchy. Maybe it's not as bad if this thing listens. Like, we can keep the town listening to this the way it was. I guess that part's fine. And I guess we'd have this thing punch through its own abstractions, which is still kind of a bad idea. It's not even that there's data. It's just there's an event. We need to know when you click the button. But it's like you click the button 6 layers deep in the hierarchy. So yeah. Yeah, another way of doing this would be to pass around an event bus. And that way you just have like essentially like a global event bus and everything's listening to that. Yeah. And I actually have a note about writing that for the town. Where is that? Yeah, November. Consider making an events class that simply has all the actions that town has and functions to emit an event. Don't worry about separating things. Yeah. 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 I think that would make things a lot easier. I'll write an update here. This could apply to anything where we forward events. Okay, well then for now, let's just do things in a way that works for us, which is to get the skill tree from here. Public get private set. Now this is going to be broken everywhere, so we just replace this with skill tree and I think we're fine. No, of course not, because we need to do that on the overlay visibility controller. So it's actually overlay visibility controller dot skill tree. And now everything should look good. But now half of these things need to be moved out of here. So like this stuff is just, oops. This stuff is just initializing the skill tree. What's this doing? Player ability to change level. Yeah, none of this needs to be here. Yeah, I think that is what we'll probably switch to, Dabu. And like I said, I think that's pretty much what I had written down here in November. I just didn't do anything about it. And that's what I did for whatever the last thing I did in TypeScript was. I think the bot website. What was I going to do now? Oh yeah, move these things. Ugh. None of today is what I would call fun coding. It's what we call work coding. I'll post a gist. I have an idea of how I'd set it up. I mean, it just would be fine too, yeah. I think anything helps, I guess. Howdy, fine fella. How you doing today? I'm doing well, Ramy. How are you doing? Are things going better at work? Or I guess, did you have the talk? So this is where we would call setup skill tree, but I don't think having a dedicated function for this makes sense. We just put this stuff in here. Yeah, then we just listen to everything over here. All right, so player ability level change. Let's go delete that. Put that down here. It doesn't need to do this anymore. Doesn't need this. Or it does need that, but rather needs a using for it. Now we don't need this here. Nor these. Nope and nope. What was the first question I asked? Is work going any better, I think? Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, quite bad. Yeah. Man. What was I gonna do? We didn't move everything, but I don't remember what I haven't moved at this point. I guess if everything just works, then it works, right? Yeah, let's try running it. So the UI no longer controls this stuff. Can we open it all? Nope. Why is this even written like this? What is this doing here? Yeah, it should have never been there. It should have been capitalized. Which means all of these are now wrong. Okay, let's try that again. No, it's still broken. Other UI. What does it think are the UIs here? One of these must not be defined. Maybe we call... No. No. I think I know what might be going on. All right, let's put a breakpoint there and a breakpoint there and try running this again. I don't think it's an ordering thing. This should exist in the tree from the very beginning. Yeah, it does. And then we call into this, and these should all be set, and one of them isn't. Oh, whoops. I never deleted these. Yeah, whoops. Okay, let's fix that. Town perks. Are the other ones set? Yep. 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 Okay, that was probably the issue, although I'm kind of surprised because it looked like it couldn't find the battle panel. Although maybe it's because this thing couldn't have been null, so it was bailing out. I don't know. There was probably an error and I just didn't even look. Okay, that's working. All right, what about that one? What about... Oh, I haven't built that one. That one and the fishing and farming. Where are they? Here and here. Yep, and yep. Cool. Now let's save that so I don't need to keep doing that. All right, now the whole reason, well, not the whole reason, but one of the big reasons we did this is because I'm sick of these functions. So I want there to be something that just toggles the visibility of anything, not of each individual thing. Make next battle use fresh instance slot. What is this? When you press M? This can't be right. Can't be right at all. What? What happens when you click this in the town menu then? Battle panel. Oh my God, we just rewrote the function. Oh. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. How do we not have this exist in two different places? Press battle map thing. This is town menu. We could... Yeah, this one is special. Actually, the battle panel could have both of these. Except for it says toggle visibility. Like, even when you hide it, it's set to use the next one. Curious. Curious indeed. Does it already have a toggle visibility by any chance? It does. Disallow opening the battle map before hiring your first adventurer since it won't be usable. All right, let's do it this way. All right, now this is called from many different places. This can't be right. This definitely can't be right. No. Something's got to be wrong here. We must call show. Yeah. We must call show on this. Okay, that's the difference. Toggle visibility is only ever done when we want to call this function as well, which would mean that this thing doesn't need to be here. We could just call toggle visibility. And even that is technically interesting. You can't click this button while it's already open because it grays out the background. So it's not possible. That's why it only ever needs to call show. But it should technically be toggle. So if we just make this toggle and then we delete this from here and put it into the toggle function. I don't think this is going to be obvious why we even do this. So now we delete it from here too, making this a private function, right? No, portal also does it. What? When you click the portal, pop this up? Well, not anymore. Now we're just going to have it say toggle visibility. This will show the battle map. Well, this will toggle the visibility, but it will also make the next, I'll just say it'll also call, yeah, that. No, not that. Come on, get it, do it. There we go. All right, and this should be make next battle, whatever. So if you don't want it to call that function, call show instead. And what? That doesn't have a definition? Because show comes from canvas item. This is kind of stupid. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe pass whether or not I should do this. That way it's obvious that it's doing that. It turns out that every time we want this right now, use fresh instance slot equals true. Yeah. All right, so we want this here. There. Okay, we're looking good. Yeah, we're looking good. There's something I'm missing. Oh yeah, this can now be, this can be private. Yeah. Oh, we can put it back where it was. It's calling itself through the town. Yeah, I gotta look at that again. Should we call an opening this dialogue for a new battle? Sure. Put this up there. Okay, now let's look at that function that got moved. There we go. Okay, so why did I do any of that? Because of this? Ah, yes. Now it has the exact same definition as everything else. What would be nice is if these all inherited from the same thing that we knew had a toggle visibility. But no, yeah, we would need that. We could have them, we could just have them implement an interface that has a toggle visibility thing on it. That wouldn't be so bad. Except for one of them would violate that function definition. Although we could just make it call into the one that doesn't violate it. I think you can skip that right now. It's going to be throwaway work. Okay. Sounds like a plan. So let's just check in what I've done. And I don't even know what I've done. I mean, we like slightly simplified a function. we moved ownership into, we don't even use this. Yeah, delete that, delete this. Now that broke the function definition over here. Yeah, looks pretty good. UI got 27 lines shorter. We didn't even use this thing, UI ID. Delete that, I guess. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back, evening, Wendy. We were talking about your podcast earlier. Because Dark brought up that he still hasn't listened, and I said it was pretty good. Oh, gotta delete that too. Let's just run .NET format on this. Not could have been worse. I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I listened while I was working out. You helped build muscle in my body, Wendy. Not many people can say that. My content is nutrient rich. If you ever want to hoot, ask Wendy about all the muscle groups in the body. He knows all of them, and there are 600 of them. At least according to Wendy. Okay, so change ownership of some UI nodes. Yeah, overlay visibility controller. Whoops. Controller now owns several panels. These will eventually get replaced by a tab container that Kevin is working on. So I didn't put too much work into this. All right, so where did we leave off? This is done. This doesn't matter. Dev's going pretty well. A lot of today was just refactoring some code, which is rather unfortunate. Like what I set out to do was to add in perks for the slime. And what we've done is nothing. We made the code a little bit better. Well, actually, we made the code a lot better. And now we can finally get back to the work I wanted to do. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's see how hard it is to add this thing now. So we have the garbage slime here. Let's have it automatically build the garbage slime so I don't need to keep doing this. Create garbage slime. Dunzo. And then what? I guess we just use it. Doesn't it have open perks here? It does. Then what do we do with this? We don't. Oh, this stuff has it now. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, we need to do the same thing then, huh? Do we have a created recycler? No, we don't. Oh, whoops, what am I doing? That's not even it. It's this. And no, it doesn't exist. Okay, so unlocked recycler dot invoke. Cool. This should maybe have been something. Yeah, I should probably change this. There should just be like an unlock with an ID of what it is that you unlocked. We could unify a lot of this code. Don't get anything done you plan to work on? Yeah. I mean, every once in a while things go according to plan mostly. I think even then though, it's like last week I wanted to work on farming, and I would say we mostly worked on farming, but we also worked on some problems that were, well, they wouldn't be what I classify as farming. They were indirectly necessary. And what I did today, I would not say is necessary, but it was indirectly helpful. Yeah, so I'm noticing a trend here. If you look at these, there's unlocked and then a building, another building, another building, another building, another build. No, not that one. I guess these are all buildings. So we should probably just have one action that says that you unlocked a building, right? Like, where are these used? Town menu. Some of these is nice to not have it be just an arbitrary building. But then ones like this are not nice. Oh well, let's keep it for right now. So create recycler. It's already done. So then in the overlay visibility controller, we have We don't have anything, actually. I forgot to add this. So we need to add in a new one of these player ability trees, or is it perks tree? What is this thing? It is a player ability tree, yeah. Okay, that scares me a little bit. That had a change? No? I don't know what happened there. All right, implement a new one of these things, player ability tree. We're going to call this the Recycler perks. And it should probably have its own script, right? Yeah, where is this one located? It's located in scene script. And that was called farming perks. So we'll call this I call it recycling or recycler? Recycler. Turn that off. And call it recycler perks. Done. Recycler perks. Okay, it's just gonna have a bunch of trash in there. We call these garbage slime here. We go give this the right script. Good. Then we figure out where we're supposed to do all this stuff. Like so. Toggle recycler perks visibility. Good. Good. Yeah, there's a lot of boilerplate here that's gonna get fixed once we have the tabs. And then some of it won't be, of course, but yeah. Then we need to put this stuff in here too. Good. This should just be in all UIs. Can we do that? Is there like an add range that you can call here? No, you could do to list probably and then add a range. What is UIs? It's a collection. Seriously? I mean, it could just be a hash set. What do we do with this? It's just to iterate over. So it just needs to be an IEnumerable. I mean, let's make it a hash set. You still do the interviews or discussion streams? I haven't done one in a while. I'm open to it. I'm trying to get back to mentoring, which was originally free and only public, and now it's going to be paid and potentially private. Yeah, I could. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess I didn't need to change that at all, huh? Although having it be a hash set is technically more correct because they need uniqueness in here. But yeah, we just do this and get fishing out of here, farming out of here, town, and recycler, and just do all perks trees. And then just delete that. Yeah, nice. Happy to chat one day if you wanted. I will write this down. No pressure. I know I was not available before. No, that was totally fine. And I understand. I am never so like I don't know, set on having content happen unless I start the stream that day and I expect it to happen. Like if you canceled an hour beforehand, I'd probably be a little miffed. But yeah, no, totally fine how it worked out. I think what I probably need to consider though is what could I interview you about that hasn't already been covered in the other interviews you've done? Like I have my own set of questions and things I'm interested about, but I was mentioning this earlier when the podcast came up, which is that I said it was one of the few podcasts I listened to where I already sort of know the person involved. So then I want to hear more about what they're doing and not more about the person necessarily. Like, I don't think I learned much about Windy in that podcast because I already heard it all, but the game stuff I hadn't heard about. So that's kind of interesting because, like, I probably would want to, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't think the interview stuff got a lot of views. Any of the interviews that I did. I didn't market them. Seriously, why does someone show up above me there? My name is Adam Learns on this site. Playlist. Do we have an interviews playlist? Yeah. How many did these get? 187. Yeah, so like 200, 200, 200, 200, 100, and 500. So yeah, these as a series, it's basically not worth doing. As a content segment / out of my own interest, it could be worth doing. So I don't know. I got to think about that. And in fact, I should probably write this down. None of the videos got a lot of views and I didn't market them. Actually, out of curiosity, how many views do I have on YouTube right now for this stream? 2. Okay. Yeah. Because I was gonna say I don't think people really find the channel right now. The last thing that I did was that short that I made, which I think got like 11 subscribers. Here's the, yeah, 11 subscribers and 17 cents. If you're ever jealous of someone making money, look at that amount of money. Whew. That's a hefty amount right there. Yeah, revenue from shorts is nuts. They expect you to get tons of views, and 1,000 is not tons of views. But still, 11 subscribers, pretty happy. Because that short did technically take me a very long time, but a lot of it was in setup that I don't need to do next time around, I'm hoping. So hopefully I can make the next short in like 2 or 3 hours and not in 6 hours. And then getting, 2,000-3,000 views or 20 subscribers or something, I think that could be pretty good. Might help add 30 views. The interview itself is about an hour. The prep for it usually takes me about an hour. And then the post interview work takes me somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. So when all said and done, it's probably like 3 hours of work. Oh, and then there's coordinating with people and yeah, darn it. No, actually, there's more stuff that goes in there. It's probably somewhere between 3 and 4 hours of work. So that's where it's like, from my own selfish perspective of wanting to make sure that doesn't go to waste, I need to change something about what's happening there. No wonder why they require 3 million short views for monetization. Yeah, yeah. If you got 1,000 views on a regular video, you might get like $5. Let me see how much money that corn video made. Because I think that's the best performing video on this channel. How do I see that? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's the best performing video. It got about $50. And it's got 30K views or so. So in my mind, it's like that's not even still worth the amount of money it took making the video. Like it probably took at least all day to do that. But whatever. Like I didn't plan on making money from it. Happy to wing it though. Yeah. I have a certain quality bar I expect of myself at the very least that I would need to still put in that prep and like do all the stuff afterward. Yeah. By the way, as far as video content goes, I think right now it's kind of interesting because there's a dichotomy between short form and long form. And as far as shorts go, the expectation is it's just very different. The long form stuff, I think you need to be a certain level of like polish and value for the viewer. I think with shorts, you can have more kind of throwaway content. Either way, though, I think it's always important to figure out like what are you hoping to get, because views versus monetization versus subscribers versus some other call to action like wish list or something like that. So what I'm trying to do right now, at least, is just figure out how to make shorts. My eventual goals are to get people playing Skeleseller, of course, but for now it's just like make some shorts that people like. Order the corn. I had a hand in that. Nice. Are you creating most things by hand, or is this object-oriented programming heavy? Used to GDScript. The two aren't really mutually exclusive, but I think what you're maybe asking about is like, do you do a lot of things through the scene views in Godot? I'd say probably more often than not, things are done through code. And where we left off here is what? Getting this stuff working? Yeah, this recycler perks. Okay, anywhere else that we use something like fishing perks? Because I think this is probably working and now we just need to fill this out. Yeah, let's try it out. I hope you like your corn, OMG High. I think it's a journey for sure for a lot of people. Town.farm is not null. That was a mistake. Should have said town.recycler is not null. Why did that fail though? Oh, because this was never initialized? Whoops. Yeah, that's another reason why this stuff should all probably inherit from the same thing. Oh, they do inherit from the same thing. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? For each Yeah, there we go. No overload takes one argument. What did these all take? They all have their own thing here. Town perks is a perks tree, which, oh, they're not perks trees then, huh? No, they are perks trees. Why is that a problem then? What? What am I doing wrong? Oh, yeah, where'd that go? Oh, here it is. I see. I see. Okay, so I need to make a version of this that only takes in one argument that can then be virtual. Okay, that's fine. Public void init town. So I guess we know we're going to store the town in here, right? Doesn't really make too much of a difference. Although we're calling like 3 different things here. Oh man. All right, well this is virtual. And then this needs to call this wouldn't even know how to call anything else. Okay, well fine. So this does nothing. And then this is override, as is everything else that inherits from perks tree. So let's search for it all. No, I don't care about that. Perks tree. Why is it doing this? It's like it's forcing me to go back to that line of code. All right, put our override there. Might as well just do that so we can search for that. Good. And that's the last one of those. Okay, so now they don't need to call into the base class, although they might as well. I don't see a problem with that. There's no reason for them to do this. But we might as well add that in. Okay. And now there should be no problem with this either. Yes, they'll just access the perks tree. Do we use this anywhere else? Yeah, when we're loading. Okay, that's pretty realistic. Okay, so now we should pop up the garbage slime perks, but it will only contain fishing perks because I think that's where I copy pasted it from. Well, farming, but yeah, either way, I copy pasted it. So I knew these would be wrong. And now we can start coding one of the perks. So how about we code the easiest one? What did we say we were gonna do? Critical eats, slime gets hungrier faster, and auto eat. Auto eat's the most interesting, but it's also not easy to do. We can do the gets hungrier faster thing. All right, how does slime hunger work right now? It's presumably in some process function. We just add delta somewhere. No. Do we have a timer? Yeah, we do have a timer. Okay, what's the timeout of that timer? Gain hunger. Okay. I see how this worked. I think we're going to need to change this to a process thing. Originally, it didn't really matter because, well, I guess it still technically doesn't matter. Rather than adding in 1 hunger, we can just add in 2 hunger instead. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that then. Gain hunger. So there just needs to be a multiplier here based on what you got. And I think we have something like that already happening with the well. So let's go to ability ID and we'll make one that says recycler. What do we call it? More hunger, faster hunger, hungrier. All right, and this is going to be pretty similar to crop growth speed. So let's just search for that. There we go. And then how many levels should there be here? So right now, the way that it works is you get 1 tick per second, and that tick gives you 3% of the remaining hunger, or 1. Yeah, that tick gives you 3% of the remaining hunger. 1. And is it a floating point number? Double. Yeah. Okay, good. So, I think we figured out how long that takes. I think it's like 40 seconds to get to full. So that we can cut this down by any amount. And I think shaving off like 10 seconds per upgrade is probably good. So we'd say, I guess, 33% faster and then 66% faster. Wait, that can't be right. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Why do these numbers not add up? Use a Vim plugin or some sort of macros? No, I don't use a Vim plugin or anything. And no real macros. I have some very minor ones for things like Markdown, but in general, it's just Command P to type in a file name and then go to whatever recycler, for example. Or just switching between tabs that are already open. And yeah, that's about it. And then back and forward keys, I guess, too. Yeah. I'm being a dummy right now, though. If it's 33% faster for 40 seconds, no, that's why that doesn't work. It's 25% faster to get 10 seconds, right? Yeah. And then we'd go to 50% faster. Except for that's not how numbers work. All right, I'm gonna just make up numbers. We're not gonna care what the results are. Because that's 25% less time, but we're doing this in terms of rate. Yeah. I'm still just going to make these be these numbers, and I don't really care. So, all right, let's get to it. Go to ability ID. The goal is just to code one of these, like I said. I'll do the other ones probably on Wednesday. So we save this as recycler, what do I call it? Recycler faster hunger. And the numbers are just going to be 0.25, 0.5. Yeah. All right, we need an icon now. How is that done? That's done in VS Code eval. I've got a video about some of the extensions I use. And the way that it works is it's just evaluating JavaScript. So for example, if you said something like A plus B, this is valid JavaScript, so I can evaluate this and it turns into AB. But typically I just use it for math. So yeah, like 789 times 987, it evaluates it. This is super helpful and you can do a lot of very interesting things with it. Typically, if you have multiple cursors and you do something like, let's say you just have a bunch of numbers like this, and you're like, you know what, I want these to all be multiplied by 1,000. It's like, it's not that the math is hard, it's that you might not, well, with those, you could just have added zeros here, right? But like, let's say it's something else where it's like, oh, multiply by 15 or something like that. Okay, so now you can't just add zeros to the end. So it can do those things too, which is nice. I would like to steal your abilities. Imagine I get art skills and I draw Star Gunner's dogs, and you get coding skills and you make Skeleseller code. You can do silly little doodles of space dogs. I like how that dog was turning out. Okay, so we've got this thing here. Oh yeah, I was gonna get an icon. So this is, if we search for hunger, what shows up? Meat. I mean, I guess no matter what we do, it's a temporary icon. So yeah, I think a meat icon would be fine. Vampire. What if you search for hungry? Nothing really shows up that's interesting, right? Yeah, I think the meat thing is fine. Let's just use that. Oh, pizza. Oh, actually, that one's pretty good because it's got a bite out of it. Yeah, let's go with that one. I think my brain is breaking. Maybe you need a break. I was gonna make a joke the other day, Wendy. I think I deleted it. So if I already said this, forgive me. But I think I was gonna say something like, I've seen Wendy do a lot on stream, but I've never seen him praise Blender on stream. That man has a lot of bad things to say about Blender. All right, chicken leg. And who made this? Lork. It's called chicken dash leg. Yeah. All right, chicken leg. Chicken leg Lork. And that goes below here. Chicken leg. Hunger. Put that there. We call this... Well, hunger should be in the name. But what do we call it? Like everlasting hunger? Eyes bigger than your stomach? I can't think of a great name for this. Appetite. Increased appetite. Yeah, there we go. All right, and this is hunger bonus, I guess. So we use that. Looks good. Get crop growth multiplier. So this is get hunger multiplier. Hunger bonus. That looks good. Ability level changed. This doesn't modify anything, so I guess we don't need this. Okay, so we say hunger bonus. The garbage slime gets hungry faster. Is that even what you would say? I don't think you'd say hunger bonus though. Hunger rate? I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. We'll see what it looks like in the UI. Yeah. All right, then we just need to use this. So now every time the hunger changes on the recycler, we set this to be double delta equals this. Delta, or and a bonus or multiplier equals recycler hunger. Get this with the town abilities. And it's the delta times the multiplier. Why is there a float there? That's not needed. Okay. I think that'll work. Let's print out the delta every time. Delta plus delta. So now the minimum possible hunger you could get per tick is 2% of the hunger. Or two hunger. Man, I must be using Blender over here because my brain's breaking. All right, so it should be printing this out. What is it printing? Delta is 1.5, slowly dipping down. Okay, but now, whoops, we don't have the chicken icon because I didn't click that. All right, 1, 1, that's going to be 1 forever. But now if I click this button, it's going to be 2. It's not 2. Why not? Did I forget to update the ability ID? I probably did. Recycler perks. Faster hunger. What does this do in there? Ability ID dot none. Oh, that's the prerequisite. So that's correct. Why is that not working? Maybe the recycler doesn't have the right player abilities? Let's just put a breakpoint here. What does it think the answer to this is? 1.25. So delta times multiplier. Delta is what? 1. Delta times multiplier. What? Why is it printing 1 then? Oh, because I do that before the... No, I don't. What is going on here? Oh, because I'm not multiplying by the multiplier. Whoops. Oh, God. Yeah, this is 100% a sign that I should be stopping. So we're not going to spend any more brain power. We're just going to... We're going to look at the words. All right, so it should be printing out. Yep, cool. Delta times multiplier is like 1.3. We go upgrade this thing. And it should be like 2.4 now. Oh, no. It's not double. Yeah, okay. This is cool. Great. Why is the icon not showing? Because I never added it to the game. Did I? I definitely did, right? Chicken leg? Chicken leg.svg. What did I do? Seriously, I am so confused now at how I messed up every single part of a very, very easy task. Because it's not an ability icon. There we go. Ignore Raven Deuce. Will do. Look, there's our chicken leg. All right. Yeah, it's working. At least 2 hungry by now. Yeah. Hey, Smash, how you doing? So is it even noticeable that it's going up faster? Not really. I feel like we should make this much faster, which maybe means we should start the recycler out at a slower rate. So maybe instead of 3% of the value remaining, we can change that somehow. Let's try this. Let's just start them at 0 hunger. Where is the hunger value? There's some constant here about their starting hunger, and I don't know where it is. Game constants dot. No, what? Where is it? Oh, it's hard coded into the into this. Yeah, max hunger divided by 2. All right, let's just hit this 0. And I gotta change this. How's it going, Irish John? Welcome in, Raiders. Hope everything's going well over there. Feel free to post a link to your game. It's what you do for me. I can help you increase your tens of thousands of wish lists to tens of thousands plus a few. Completely forgot the raid call, so it's only you. Well, welcome in, everybody. I am working on a game called Skeleseller, which you might have seen as Irish John was showing off on the last stream. But it's a semi-idle game where you battle, you earn items from those battles, and then you sell those items in your town. And that looked like it crashed. What happened there? Navigation map. I see. That explains what the lag is from that too. And well, assuming that just happened now, which maybe it didn't. Anyway, my workers are bringing items over to the shop right now, and then this customer's wandering over, and they'll probably go buy it. And what we're working on today, although we're finishing up pretty soon, is their hair messed up? Am I just noticing this? There's like brown in the blue of their hair. Where is that? It's one of these. It's not that one. Not that one. It's this one. It might be, no, that's always how they looked. Huh. I just never noticed. Anyway, what we're working on today has been this little cutie right here. So the garbage slime is something you can drag items to and get money. And we are adding in this perks board that will let you control just some upgrades for them. And the only one we have right now is this. Hey, Dukesoft. So I wanted to see how long it takes. And I think we have this written out somewhere. No, I don't see any comments about it. Anyway, I wanted to time how long it takes. So I guess let's just... Actually, we could just write a program that does this. I don't need to like run this in the game itself. Yeah, let's just go write a quick JavaScript thing. Temp s main.js. All right, so this is the formula we want to use. And we have a starting value. So let value equals 0. Let max value equals 100. And then we want to, while value is less than max value, num iterations is 0. So this plus value plus equal, and then we need that same formula that we had. So how do you do JavaScript max of 2 numbers? I think it's just max right now. It does math.max, just not capitalized. All right, it's pretty much exactly that, right? Max value minus value 1. Yeah, cool. All right, and then at the end, we just console.log how many iterations it was. Iterations. Okay, Now let's run that. 70. That seems high. I thought this was 40. Huh. But yeah, that's probably correct. I mean, I guess we could just print out the value at any given time. Log value. And maybe even the iteration number. I guess let's do that. Iter number iterations colon value. All right, so it should start by giving 3%, then close to 3%. Yeah, this is correct. So it actually is taking 70. That means it's 70 seconds to get to the maximum. Although it, yeah, 70, 71. Yeah, 70. Okay, so if we were to speed this up now by, so let multiplier equals 0.25. If we speed it up by 25%, and again, it should not be hard to figure this out, but my brain isn't working, so bear with me. Let delta equals this. We add the delta, and we multiply the delta by the multiplier. So if we go 25% faster, I meant to multiply that by 1.25, then we do it in 56, which is 1/5 faster. Yeah. So it's the inverse. Yeah, of course. Oh my God. Okay, great. I'm glad we figured that out. So if you go 25% faster here, it's going to take you 4/5 the time, because this is 5/4 the speed. Bear with me. I really do like your Irish J smug emote. It's pretty great. Is it photoshopped at all? Or can you just make that face? Oh, wait, I can zoom in. Okay. It does look like there's some image manipulation going on. I can't tell. The eyebrows make it tough. Well, the reason I ask is because I've got, I think, Adam W, where someone modified the smile. Yeah. But like zoomed out, it looks like kind of just a smile. But zoomed in, it looks a little creepy. That was from my hacking tutorial video, which I would, if no one's ever seen that, by the way, don't watch that. Watch that one. First one's better. Okay, so now that we know that it's 4/5 and it's just inverted, that's what I wanted to do instead. So if I want this to be minus 10 seconds, that's minus 1/4. So we need to actually multiply the speed by 33%. So I was right the first time, right? So this should make it take, let me think about this. 70 times 0.75. Yeah, this should be at 53 at the end of this. Yeah, it is. Wow, look at that. I understand math. And if we do it at 1.66, then it goes down to 42. So that's different. But that's because we don't have a linear scale here. So how fast does it get to a good number? "42 seconds to get complete." And this was at 1.66. 42 seconds. I'm torn on what I want to do here. I think I want to just increase it by like 40% and then to 80%, something like that. So let's try that out. So this is 40%, this is 80%, and let's just test it, see what happens. Okay, so it starts at 0. We're just gonna upgrade this to the fastest for right now. So it's offering 3 gold now, and I waited, well, like 5, 6, 7. It took a long time to get to 4 gold. I don't know. I don't know what this should be set to. I guess it's fine. I wonder if it should be even faster. It all depends on how quickly you're winning battles. Because probably what's really going to happen here is this. At the point in the game where you can unlock this stuff, you're probably going to have a couple characters fighting, let's say here, and another couple characters fighting over here, and maybe one over there. And let's speed this all up so that it can clear out the town for a second. You also probably have like 2 more workers. So this is just going to be spewing out items pretty much. And unless you have... Oh, I don't even have the shops. Never mind. They're not spewing out items for that reason. They're spewing out items because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's add more customers into. Make them move faster and maybe one of those. All right, now we speed this up. So they're getting more items than they can handle. Yeah, and I can upgrade the shops, but it's still going to be more than they can handle. Now let's close out of one of these battles. What about now? It's closer. So I drag those in, I drag these in. We're still able to get the slime to be hungrier than you probably want them to be. Yeah, the question is still like, what's a good amount of manual input you should have to do here? And I think probably once every 30 seconds or so is good. And the way we have it set up is it's once every 42 is the hit max. When's the second episode of the cooking show coming out? I'm afraid there won't be a second episode. The network dropped us pretty early on. They cited conflicts with the banana industry. So yeah, there won't be a return to that. Should I start warning people about this year's April Fools or no? Every year I do something. And they're all in this document, and I don't recommend watching any of them. They are a waste of your time, except for this one. This one's the best one. It's just typing with a piano. Oh, except for that's not the short video. Here's the short video. Yeah. That year, I spent a ridiculously long time learning how to type on a piano, and the joke was just that I wasted my time. But it's not a waste of your time. That's the only good one. The other ones are a waste. But this year is an even worse waste. Just typing any plans. Yeah. I never actually share what it is ahead of time, but this one, normally I look back and I cringe on them. This one I'm cringing as I'm doing it. So if cringy stuff is up your alley, then you might like this one. But otherwise, also not intentionally supposed to be cringy. It's just that I lack the ability to make this not cringy. So I hope you all have a fun April Fools. Oh, I love April Fools. It's the greatest day of the year. And I spend a ludicrous amount of time every year preparing these things. Like some of these, what was it? This took like 12 hours. It's cloning myself one. Why does this have a weird thumbnail? Wait, Instagram show. What? What? What's going on? Hang on a second. Where is this coming from? Darren Watkins. Hang on a second. I don't know what's going on there. Well, let's just delete the link and then put the link back on. What is this doing? Where is this thumbnail coming from? I've seen this in Google Docs too. I wonder if it's an extension or something. Is that the chatter metadata? Maybe? Does that happen on any other things? Are there even, I don't even think there are any other clips here. There's this one. That might be a highlight though, not a clip. Oh, that wasn't a clip either. That was a highlight. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, weird. Huh. Well, anyway. Hope you're looking forward to April 1st. Okay, so we coded the first slime perk. Let's go check that in. Code's looking good. Except for that. And that. Okay. This I don't want to have checked in. Everything else is good. So, and how's that stuff? That's all good too. Good. Oh, does that close automatically? If I click this and I press T? Yeah. I click this and I press P. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. All right, so we're not going to check in everything. We are going to get rid of that one line from town, which is here. So unstage. And then we'll say add first slime perk. It makes the slime get hungry faster. I wrote a small JavaScript program to test the speed difference. At level 0, oh, by the way, what does this say on it? Yeah, that's correct. Okay, at level 0, it takes, what was it, 90 seconds? So a multiplier of 1, it takes 70 seconds. It takes 70 seconds to go from no hunger to full. At level 1, it takes 50 seconds. At level 2, it takes 39 seconds. I don't know if those are going to be the final values, but it's a start. Yeah. All right, let's commit that. You should share your hacking tutorial sometime. I learned so much from that video. Oh, I did share it just earlier. Yeah. That video was nice. That wasn't for April Fools. I just woke up one Saturday and I wrote the script out in like half an hour and then recorded the video, and I really, really liked the result. That was one of those like just total flukes. It's out of the blue. It took me like one take to record it. I've never spent that little time on a video probably since then. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go write this down over here. As few takes as possible in a zero budget. I haven't seen that, but it immediately reminded me of a very famous slash incredibly not safe for work RoboCop knockoff video that's on Vimeo. I don't know if you would like, Wendy. It was by Fatal Farm, and their editing is great, and they're the ones that produce Lasagna Cat. I don't know who here is familiar with this, but I love Lasagna Cat. It's no longer, they're not making videos really anymore. And you can see that they're mostly from like 17 years ago. But their video editing was top notch. Just the amount of effort they put in to pretty much just make fun of Jim Davis. It's so funny, but it's done pretty lovingly. Okay, so we got to do auto eat and critical eats. I'm probably not going to do that stuff tomorrow. I'll probably do that on Wednesday. I guess run .NET format and then merge the branch and switch back to main. All right, let's bump this down to Wednesday. Actually, let's bump all that stuff down to Wednesday. What am I doing? And then where'd the other perks thing go? Yeah, here. Cool. The RoboCop video. Had you not seen it before? It's quite a trip. Recorded tutorial on Bitcoin and Bitcoin farming. You've never seen it? Okay. Yeah. Like I said, quite a trip. You need to record a tutorial on Bitcoin. Yeah, so I think as far as sort of funny videos go, usually what happens is sometime, typically in like the fall, an idea strikes me and I'm like, I have to do that for April Fools. I don't remember when I got this idea, but I wasn't 100% sold on it. I had another idea that was like even stupider and goofier. Anyway, you'll see. I'm gonna work on it somewhere this week, and then yeah, probably end up putting way too much time into it. But like I said, expect it to be cringy. All right, yeah, that's definitely all for today. I streamed for a while. It's been like what, 7 hours. Yeah, it's been 7 hours. I think I took one break. Other than the lunch break, which wasn't streamed, but like one on-stream break. So let's go find someone to raid. One sec. Here's the raid tool. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so English, same category. So we're looking for people we're not following who don't have a crazy uptime. Yeah, like this person normally I might consider, but 5 hours, not going to do it. 21 hours. Is there anyone who hasn't been streaming for a long time today? I guess the closest is probably this person, but that's still 2 hours. This person's at just an hour. That's not bad. Yeah, I've rated like everybody else. Jeez. Wait, I'm not following IRAD Dev? Huh. I've definitely rated him before, and I like his stream. Okay, where's that person I just said? This person? Yeah, let's raid this person. And I can't vouch for the stream or anything. This is just how I discover people in the community. And I try to spread this out. Oh, wait. There's like a gigantic content warning when I try to load this. Significant profanity or vulgarity, sexual things. Oh, you know what? Let's not. Not rate this person. I don't mind rating different streams, but that's like 3 different warnings on a stream. Whoops. Ah, darn it. I accidentally added a stream marker. I don't even know what that does. All right. Sorry. Give me a sec. There was someone right beneath them, like Foxatorio or something like that. I should have just written a tool a while ago that'll let me find people. Yeah, this one doesn't have any content warnings, so good. We'll rate them. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday, and if you have not already, please do consider wishlisting Skeleseller. It really helps. It is as simple as going to the site and clicking wishlist, and if you want to follow, great. It's not a commitment. You don't have to buy the game or anything. All you need is a Steam account, and it's free. So yeah, if you want to do that, that'd be great. I'm trying to build up as many as I can. Thank you all for being here. It was quite a day of refactoring. Let's go check out this person now, Foxatorio, and see what they're up to. And I will catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.